Absolutely. Good afternoon, Mr. Johnson,
Here.
Mr. Bailey. We'll get through roll call. Mr. Brown, Ms. Herbert, Mr. Brennan,
Present.
Mr. McDowell,
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman.
Here.
Thank you.
Reverend McDowell, do you mind saying a word before we start, please?
Yes. Let us bow our heads. Is it like here? Of all that we say and do, words are not adequate enough to say how thankful we are. Bless us as we gather in this place. We pray that you might touch each one of us individually and collectively. There are decisions to be made, but we know that in your wise counsel, you would advise us to do the right thing. Bless this city of ours as it continues to expand and grow within. Let the power of your might be upon us. Amen.
Amen. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam City Manager, I did want to recognize we have a Representative Mr. Hart in the house today with us. Thank you for being here. Representative Hart, thank you for all your support of the city. And we also have County Councilwoman Tyra Little here with us. Just wanted to make sure we recognize them. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know I'm gonna make it through the meeting like this.
Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor.
One more, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor.
Who else?
May I also recognize former council member Sam Davis is in the house.
Oh, is he still here, Sam?
Sam, are you still here?
Yep, right there.
Thank you,
All right.
sir.
Tyler?
That was it.
I think we're good to go now, Mr. Mayor. Yes, sir.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
You are more than welcome to, yes, sir. I did, but I think maybe some of the, okay, well, we're always pleased when we have our state, county, and former elected officials here with us. Thank you to Representative Chris Hart and Councilwoman Tyra Little and former Councilman Sam Davis for being with us today. And at this time, Mr. Mayor and Council, if you could adopt the agenda.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Mr. Johnson, Mr. Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Brown, Ms. Herbert,
Aye.
Mr. McDowell, Mr. Brennan,
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Public input. Individuals are allotted up to 3 minutes to address Columbia City Council about items on the agenda. Items requiring a public hearing cannot be addressed at this time.
Mayor, we have one individual that I've identified that has signed up to speak on the Rosewood Drive rezoning, Rosewood Avenue rezoning, item 12, and that would be Lynn Shirley. All speakers have a 3-minute time limit.
Would you like me to come forward now?
Yes, sir.
It's primarily a question for staff. What is the difference between the NAC and the the RM2 zoning? What is that going to open up for the development of that parcel? Because the neighborhood is aware of what happened, and we were before a body before, and the applicant for the liquor store on the adjacent property submitted a petition with 53 neighbors. In geocoding that, only 3 of those people actually lived in the neighborhood. So we are very concerned about what this is a step toward, given some of the leniency in terms of parking requirements. So what does moving from NAC to RM2 open up?
We're going to have Andrew come up to give you the
Yeah.
legal definition, and then we're going to put it in normal language, right, Andrew?
Andrew.
Hi, the NAC district is a neighborhood activity center corridor district, so it is a commercial zoning district. The RM2 zoning district is a mixed residential district, which is open to different kinds of residential development, so single-family, duplexes, multifamily, et cetera.
So it will go from commercial to residential is what you're saying.
That is correct, yes.
Did you hear that, Mr. Shirley?
I really did. What's the difference?
Our RM2 is a residential zoning district. NAC is a commercial zoning district.
So they're requesting to go from commercial to residential.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Just one moment, Mr. Mayor. We've got a couple items that people wrote down. We want to make sure it doesn't need to be for this period of time.
All right, everyone else has signed up for items that are either a part of the zoning public hearing or they would speak during public input at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Approval of minutes, item number 1. Council is asked to approve the August 4th, 2026 work session and regular meeting minutes.
moved.
Second.
Discussion, changes, hearing none, seeing none. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Bless you.
Ms. Herbert? Aye. Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell? Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
Moving into a period of presentations, item number 2, the American Heart Association check presentation by me and our wonderful staff. Mr. Mayor and Council, thank you all so much for allowing the staff of the city, our city family, to always champion causes that are so worthy. All of us experience, unfortunately, either personally or know someone in our family who deals with heart disease. And we, as a community, every year really raise the awareness, and we've sort of taken it up several notches over the last several years, particularly in the city family, to raise that awareness. And we have to thank the leadership of Columbia City Council who recognize the importance of issues like this. So we're extremely thrilled to be able to present a check today that's pretty sizable, and I'm going to turn it over to our wonderful team at the city, led by Ms. Galena Alford and Mr. Justin Stevens, who always show up and show out with me every year this time when we do this, but leading up to it with all of the events that we put together for our community. So I'm going to turn it over to our 2 team leaders on this.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Thank you, Mayor, City Council. As Ms. Wilson stated, this event has grown past few years and really made a bigger impact every single year. One thing that's a standstill is the first Friday of every February, which is Heart Month. We kick off the Go Red kickoff event and press conference where we invite the community out for this beautiful photo that we have here in council chambers. City Manager Wilson spoke last year. We had a special video presentation for you, Mayor Pro Tem Tina Herbert. Thank you, Chief Holbrook, American Heart Association, Prisma. And we always have a survivor every single year. And this year's Survivor Spotlight was USC legend Connor Shaw, who told his impactful story. It was also special because we kicked off a partnership with Connor this year in his Heart Huddle initiative, in which we are raising, which we have a goal to equip 300 CPD frontline vehicles with the AED, which saved his life. After that, a few weeks later, we had the Jumpstart Your Heart party at Findlay Park. Heart Huddle was there, Public Relations, Prisma Heart, Humana, Heart of Diane, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and USC Leads, where we just gave information, heart health resources, and we also had events during this 3-hour type of period. Breakpoint Cola was giving pickleball demonstrations. Prisma Health was using their Prisma Court fitness facility they have there. Drew Wellness was there, and we also had Josh Boyd, who's another local athlete in the community who survived cardiac arrest, is now as a high school football coach in Dutch Fork. He was giving out youth football demonstrations in the lawn. So those were just the first 2 events, and which led to our big walk, which Galena will get into.
Thank you, Justin. And good evening, Mayor and City Council, Ms. Wilson. With the guidance of our city manager, the ambassador of the City of Columbia, we are proud to join alongside the American Heart Association. The City of Columbia is committed to take the leadership role in saving lives and making our city a healthier place. This is something very near and dear to our city manager's heart. And we would like to ask our committee members to come forward. All the committee members, if you will come forward, please, and join us. And then I would like to list out all our sponsors that sponsor us during the walk on March the 6th. So when I call your name, if you would please come up. Founders Federal Credit Union, Jabber and Isaac Law Firm, Palmetto Apparel, the CEBA Group, Humana, Tyler Technologies, First Citizens Bank, Black Expo, Heart and Huddle, ADAS Consultant, Julia Hansard, Columbia Marriott, PAG Marketing, Jenny Griffith, and Abby Anderson. If you would come up, please, and join me. Hello. Thank you so much for your sponsorship. So today we would like to present a check to the American Heart Association for $10,000.
Right.
And I want to invite Lizzie up to just say a few words before we take a check up, picture of the check in the corner.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you. And thank you all so much for having us here and presenting us with this lovely check. We promise we'll put it to very good use. I'm actually going to talk about that a bit. But on behalf of the American Heart Association, I really, truly want to thank the City of Columbia and the leadership, especially, of course, Teresa Wilson, who's on our board and who has really helped spearhead this campaign. And then, of course, Galena, who is the legs of the campaign and does a lot of heavy lifting on this one for such a tiny person. We're very thankful to all of you, though, for everything that you do for this partnership with the American Heart Association. And so we're really grateful for your commitment to advancing our mission to be a relentless force for a world of longer and healthier lives, not only in the City of Columbia, but everywhere across the Midlands and beyond. This campaign is led with enthusiasm, generosity, and community spirit, and it is demonstrated so clearly by the city employees and the leadership that help make it a success. The American Heart Association's Midlands Heart Walk is a celebration where months of events, activities, and fundraising all come together to raise awareness and life-saving funds for the fight against our #1 killer, heart disease and stroke. The funds raised through the Heart Walk help us change the community in many ways, but especially by building stronger health outcomes for our neighbors, advancing access to care right here in Columbia, improving nutrition security, and building a nation of lifesavers through cardiac response and CPR education in Columbia and beyond. The city's Go Red Heart Walk campaign not only raised life-saving funds, but it also helped us reach thousands of Columbia residents, improving the lives of everyone, everywhere. And so I just want to thank you all again so much for standing with the American Heart Association to build a healthier community and especially a healthier Columbia for all of these wonderful people in this room here today. So thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Thank you to Lizzie and the entire American Heart Association team. They are amazing partners. We are excited to have another presentation, which works out for Mr. Darren Thomas because he's so supportive of so many initiatives. Now he helped us with our American Heart Association initiative, but he is here to give an update on his own wonderful, wonderful event from this year, the Black Expo. Mr. Darren Thomas, president of the Thomas Media Group.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Council, City Manager. Thank you all so much. Council, Mayor, we take this opportunity very seriously as the city has continued to invest in this endeavor for the past 28, 29 years, and this opportunity to come before you and share with you the findings from the 2026 Black Expo, we're incredibly grateful. May 14th through the 16th, we kicked off at the State Museum with our Black-owned wine and spirit celebration, which was highly successful, new event, new initiative, all to drive attendees to the Columbia area while empowering those businesses locally. Of course, Friday night, the Taste of Black Columbia at our very own Columbia Museum of Art with over 27 local chefs, caterers, and restaurants all vying for best display, best dessert, and best savory dish. Wonderful addition this year. We're the junior chefs, which led into the big day, Black Expo 2026 at the State Fairground. Incredible year for us. 15,324 attendees. Significant. The economic impact estimated at 3.8 million. Mr. Mayor, you'd be pleased to know our average stays were 2 nights from out-of-towners, which was over 7,000. Some of the highlights of this year, continuing with the strategy of using the neighborhoods program. Councilman McDowell, you were very supportive of this 2 years ago, encouraging us to really look at that, making certain that we put a health emphasis, and strategically working with those councils, those local community councils really aided and assisted us in making certain that we had attendees there as we assessed the community's health needs. We conducted over 1,150 health screenings, but here was a high water mark. We, with the Carlos Dunlap Foundation and Prisma Health, put a focus on breast cancer awareness. We gave away over 500 women's bras in an initiative to get women to have breast cancer screenings done. Prisma Health conducted a record number of breast cancer screenings while at Black Expo. The friends from Best Chance Network applauded us along with the Department of Public Health. And you know, Mr. Mayor, Council, it's all about these types of collaborative partnerships that I can point to say has been profound for us over the last 28 years to really make Expo the impact that it's had. We collected over 5,000 pounds of food for a local pantry. We had over 250 minority-owned businesses participate. Scout Motors and Food Lion led the job fair for us. Needless to say, had it not been for Dawn Staley and her appearance, and Mr. Mayor, I'm always going to give you a shout out, your presence in making certain that she was there was profound. I will say that all of council, your presence made a difference. Big kudos to all of the departments that made this event successful, particularly our public relations team. We could not have had the success realized this year had it not been for every element of this city stepping up, and for that we are profoundly grateful. Thank you. Thank you.
For all that you continue to bring and the opportunity and adding the health component. And we've seen now for 2 years in a row, we've seen folks coming from across this city to take advantage
Absolutely.
of the services that are available there and then fully engaged. It was great to see people there. However, I got one request.
Yes, sir.
You got to change your graphics because you can't show the old Finley Park when we got a new Finley Park, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
On those graphics.
All right, Justin, we've got to work on new photos. Absolutely.
We can't have that, especially we want people to enjoy that as
Point
they're
well
here
taken.
enjoying the event. But thank you for your the give back. As you know, Coach Staley, just made an incredible conversation on stage about this city and how it supports folks.
Yes,
and
sir.
how she wants to give back and that this is her home.
Absolutely.
And I thought it was very powerful. We appreciate all the exposure she gives us. And now that the university has a Nike deal, things are only going
Absolutely.
to get better.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
You want the elderly statesman to go first?
Let her go.
Are you deferring to me?
Yes.
No, so Darren, I wanted to say one thing. Thank you for exposing me to D1. I don't
you,
know if any
Councilwoman.
of you all know D1, but I was not familiar with D1. I bought several of his books, and when I saw this on the agenda, just want to say I followed through and downloaded his, I don't even know how to say it.
Anti-bullying.
Yeah, his album, and I would encourage folks. He's a young rapper, teacher, with a very positive message.
Yeah.
So positive that the gang folks are going after him. Like, it's so positive.
Yeah.
But the music, I hope that we could get more music like that out there. But so thank you for exposing me
Absolutely. It's all
to
about
him.
being intentional. And for that reason, we sought him out and he was amenable to making his presence known. And thank you, to Councilwoman, because your support and talking with others, fitting with some of the things we're doing in the neighborhoods, we thought it made sense. Yeah. Yes.
Darren, let
Yes,
me
sir.
just say a word referencing Black Expo.
Yes, sir.
28, 29 years of visionary leadership has been a blessing for this city we call Columbia.
Yes, sir.
It continues to expand itself. The health narratives that we've talked about
Yes, sir.
and will continue to talk about certainly will be a part of our agenda.
Yes, sir.
So for 28, 29 years, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for being who you are. Thank your team
Yes,
for
sir.
assisting.
Yes, sir.
And again, show us the real new Finley Park.
Point well taken, Councilman.
Thank you.
Point well taken.
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you so much, Darren. Moving into our consent agenda items 4 through 9 for your consideration, Mr. Mayor and Council.
So move. We got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Yes, Mr. Johnson.
Aye.
Mr. Bailey.
Yes.
Ms. Herbert. Aye. Mr. Brennan.
Yes.
Mr. McDowell.
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman.
Aye.
Thank you.
Ordinances for second reading, and we have two very meaningful ordinances for second reading today. Item number 10, we will take them out. I'll read each into the record. I know Councilwoman Herbert, Mr. Mayor, I'm not sure if you want.
Well, I'd like to take a point of personal privilege
Okay.
before we move forward to talk about this program, because it took a lot of partners, and one of our partners is in the room. We as a city made a conscious effort that as we analyzed lots that we own, what we could do with those lots, and taking those lots and giving first-time home buyers an opportunity to own a home. But not only that, to change the course of what affordable looks like. So we had a lot of discussions, and we partnered with some team members. The first, I'd like to invite up our chairman from Founders Credit Union to join us up front and talk a little bit about partnership with the city, because we're building houses, conveying them over, partnering with a construction company, partnering with US Bricks so that we can build all brick houses, 1,300 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and give people affordable mortgage. And we found a company that doesn't sell their mortgages, that keeps them in-house and provides that opportunity, and that's Founders Credit Union. And Bruce, I want to thank you for that, but also I'd like you to take an opportunity and talk about the partnership you've had with our city and our city employees and what that looks like.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I want to thank you, the council, Teresa, everybody that's been so proactive in addressing the need for affordable housing. And we're so fortunate that we were able to work with you on this project. We're excited about what it's doing. And what we've done is we're financing 100% of these homes' value at 30 years at a fixed rate of 6% for people in this program, to give people the opportunity to advance their families through affordable housing. This would not be possible if it weren't for the leadership of Mr. Mayor and the City Council. We operate in lots of communities. No one has this vision but y'all. No one put your actions where your words were but y'all. And we're so fortunate, and this has led to us being able to serve the employees of the city, where we're making difference in their lives by helping them refinance their autos, their personal loans, their homes. And I would invite anyone here, if you've not experienced the Founders difference, please come visit us. Give us a chance to earn your business as well. I promise you, you will not be disappointed, but I couldn't let that not go. But this is a very special day, and we're so excited that we're finally seeing the fruits of the labor. We've been at this for about a year now, and we're finally getting homeowners in houses, and the difference it's going to make in their lives and the life of their family. You just can't express it. You know, you have to let them experience it. So on behalf of Founders, we thank you for allowing us to participate with you and offer these folks the chance at affordable home ownership. So thank you.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Mayor. Is it okay for me to call you Bruce? I didn't catch your last name.
Brumfield.
Brunfield, yes. What I want to make sure is not lost is how important Founders was to making this happen. We identified what we wanted to do and what we wanted to provide for folks, and we wanted it to be affordable, but we didn't have millions of dollars to just put into a project. So it took us years. I want to thank Mayor Rickaman, who sought you out, credit where credit is due. But we would not have been able, we tried various different ways to get the money and to make it work. So I'm especially appreciative because we were able to make this project work after several years of trying to make it work and get the financing. So I am very, very thankful for you coming to the, can I say rescue?
No, thank you.
Coming
Thank
to the
you.
rescue, coming to the rescue, really.
No, we didn't. Thank you for allowing us. This is our mission, to serve people of modest means. This is what we were founded to do 76 years ago, was we were founded to serve the employees of the Springs Cotton Mills. And although we've grown to over $5 billion in assets, we will never forget the purpose of our mission, which is to help people that will fall through the crack and be underserved. So this is just another way for us to extend what we do into another community, and we couldn't be prouder to partner with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if you wanted to add something, Madam City Manager, about those recipients.
Well, I think it's going to speak for itself when we read these, both of these first, hopefully of many, these first two ordinances into the record. These two city employees are here with us today. Like I said, hopefully the first of several more. But these will be the first two closings that will be forthcoming. And I really have to also say thank you to our city team who've worked with founders and you all, Mayor, the council, to, be diligent and try to be creative and figure out not only home ownership, but the ability for our employees and hopefully other citizens of Columbia to benefit from debt consolidation, refinancing their cars, things that sometimes, every single one of us can always do better when it comes to financial literacy and education. And so I think that has been the part of the journey that's meant the most to me personally, to see that there has been a partner to walk with our employees, walk with me, walk with us as a city family. And we're just excited. We're really excited for this opportunity.
Well, I think we're really excited for the two new homeowners.
Yep, so let's read it into the record, and I think that then we will definitely see, and these are some longstanding employees too, Stephanie and Tracy. So the first ordinance, item number 10, ordinance number 2026-066, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract of sale between Stephanie Weeks and the City of Columbia, South Carolina for the sale of 5220 Randall Avenue in Columbia, South Carolina in the 29203. This first reading approval was given on August 4th, and today, Mr. Mayor and Council, you can give
Bless you.
second reading
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
to authorize the sale.
So we have a motion.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. And I don't think there's any discussion. So, Madam Clerk?
Yes,
Could you
sir.
read the roll?
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell? Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
And I think, do we
Awesome.
have a video?
We
Do you want
do,
to
I
show
don't
them
know.
in between, or you want
Let's
to?
do it at the end
At
of
the end
both
of
of them,
this
if
one?
that's okay. And I didn't know if
Yeah.
Stephanie wanted to stand, if she's
Yeah.
not too
Where's Miss
shy,
Weeks?
or Stephanie and her family.
Stephanie? Right there.
Stand up, Steph. Stephanie
Man, that
is,
feels good.
it does. Stephanie's a dedicated public works employee. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Yay, Robert. See how excited your director is for you, Stephanie? Yes. All right. And then item 11, ordinance number 2026-067, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract of sale between Tracy C. Chapman and the City of Columbia, South Carolina for the sale of 5225 Spalding Avenue in Columbia, South Carolina, 29203.
So
Sure.
move.
Got a motion, is there a second? Got a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, there will be no discussion, so please move on with the roll.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell? Yes. Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
Ms. Tracy Chapman.
I'm gonna cry, I'm sorry, but this is a great day. Mayors, members of city council, Ms. Teresa, and everyone here today, good afternoon. I wasn't sure if I had the opportunity to speak today, but I came wearing a shirt that says, "If blessed was a person." And I don't think I could have chosen a better shirt for this moment, because standing here today, that's exactly how I feel. Can my friends and family come up with me? There was a time when my children and I were homeless. Not homeless in the sense we were living on the streets, but homeless in the sense that we didn't have a home of our own. We lived with other people and we did what we had to do until we could do better. Recently, my children reminded me of those days and just how far we've come. And today we're preparing to walk into our new home. That's why this is so much bigger than a house to me. This is a blessing. This is stability. This is generational wealth. This is something that I can leave for my children. And this is proof of just how good God is. I want to sincerely thank the City of Columbia and the Keys to a Dream program for making opportunities like this possible. I especially want to thank City Manager Teresa Wilson, Ashley Jenkins, Tony Lawton, and Founders Bank for the roles each of you played in making this dream a reality. I'm not sure if Tony is here or not, but Tony, you've been here from the very beginning, helping me choose the property, seeing things I couldn't, and helping me navigate the entire process. And I will be forever grateful. And above all, I give God all the glory, because I know without a shadow of a doubt, God did it.
Yes, sir.
So when I eventually turn that key and walk through the door, I won't simply be walking into a new house. My family will be walking into a new chapter. Thank you for investing in families like mine. Thank you for helping turn a dream into a legacy. God bless you all, and thank you all so much. Thank God so much. Thank you so much.
Mayor, one thing I wanted to, Mayor,
Yes.
no, I just wanted
I think we're
to,
going to stop the meeting right now. We're on such a good high.
before we do the video, but Ms. Chapman said why we do this. Generational wealth. She said that this gives her the opportunity to leave something to her children. That is what we are trying to do. And we welcome you to the Belmont community. But that is why we do this, in the disparity in wealth, and how we achieve wealth. And the number one way is home ownership. But I'm just glad that you see it too. That is why we do all of this. So this has been a long road. And so we're just as happy as you are. The City of Columbia needs housing for people all across the spectrum, from service to clerical workers and even city employees. Having employees live close to their jobs is better for the employers as well as the employees. It cuts down on transportation time, and all of these things help with the economy. Safe, affordable housing reduces stress, which leads to improvement in both physical and mental health.
We really want a diverse community. We got to have a range of housing choices that enable people with a wide range of income and backgrounds to stay here. If it's our school teachers, first responders, hardworking folks should have the opportunity to live and buy a home that they can afford. Housing is the key to create generational wealth and increase economic mobility.
Expecting houses, but at least a park and some places where we can have like green space. The last couple of years, we talking about houses along with the park. So, new development, a change of scenery in the neighborhood up and down the North Main Corridor, I'm all about.
Mr. Mayor, there's just no words really to express the gratitude, that we feel for these employees, for the vision and the, hard conversations and all of the partnership. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, City Council, for your vision. It's very important to this community. A lot of the staff have been mentioned. I know Tracy mentioned Tony Lawton and Ashley Jenkins, and we need to talk about our community development staff because all of the different parts and pieces have come together. And I want to ask Ashley Jenkins to come forward because little did I know on this day too, as this program is also pushing our staff, our internal staff members with excellence and to want to learn more about housing and how they can grow in their careers. And so through this process, Ashley has become a program manager with housing, but I also want to give her, I believe it's 10-year pin, or is it 15? Is it 15 years? Where is Ashley? I'm waiting on you to come forward. I'm shorting her 5 years and she's been with us since she was an intern at the University of South Carolina and now is a program manager for housing for the City of Columbia, and this is her 15-year pin.
Thank you.
So how appropriate to get it today.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wilson. And thank you, Council, for the opportunity to work with this program and really help with housing. And it's really about the program participants and them having an opportunity to achieve home ownership and partnership with founders, and then also financial stability. Just getting to hear the testimonials from a lot of the participants, those who are now closing on their homes, but then also those who are on their way to the next step in their dream has really been a blessing and a wonderful opportunity. So I look forward to working with you all, with Tony, with city staff, with you, Ms. Wilson, to help other people achieve their keys to the dream. Thank you so much. I didn't recognize it's been 15 years. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ruth.
You're welcome. And then Felicia Kilgore, who's our Director of Community Development, she and her team are here today. And we're always good for a little switch it up on somebody. So another person who's been really instrumental in this programming Little did she know today, and I want to ask Felicia to come up with Ms. Tasha Watson, who is a program manager in community development. But Tasha Watson is retiring after 28 years with the city. And I want to say, Tasha, and I'm gonna totally embarrass Tasha. Tasha started at the city when she was 18 years old. She started and began her career on July 15, 1998 as a part-time clerk to receptionist in human resources, formerly known as employment services back then. And fast forward through stints in parks and recreation, as a secretary and moving up to executive secretary. You all know her best as an office manager because she ultimately became my office manager and worked with many of you in the city manager's office. And through all of those chapters, Tasha has shared her experiences and institutional knowledge with so many employees along the course of the 28 years at the city, serving in multiple departments, witnessing many changes throughout our organization, and always being a kind spirit, friendly, hospitable to many, and working and serving with honor and grace all the way through. So we had to recognize Tasha today. We know it's a new chapter. She's already shared with me some things that she will now do in this next chapter of her life. But I know that her mother, her father, and Justice, who I've watched grow up, is now in high school, and she's going to get to enjoy her family. And I'm so, so proud of you, Tasha. We wish you nothing but happiness, and blessings. Love you. You want to say anything? Okay.
I just wanted to say thank you, guys. It has been an amazing journey over the 28 years, and I appreciate the opportunity of working with not just my coworkers, but they're my family. And everybody has always been by my side, and I'm just so blessed, and I'm just thankful. So Miss Wilson and my extended family, thank you, guys.
You're welcome. All right, no more surprises, Mr. Mayor. I think we've gotten it all covered, but it was really appropriate because so many of those folks were connected to our housing program, which we're extremely thrilled about. I want to extend my thanks to the founders crew. I know Bruce got up, but all of the founders team, please stand up. Please stand up and be recognized. Yes. They have really become an extended part of the city family as well, working with many of our employees. Well, Mr. Mayor, with that, we will move forward with our zoning and planning matters. The first is for second reading. Item number 12, a zoning map amendment for parcel at 1700 block of Rosewood Drive and Fulton Street. Amending the official zoning map to modify the zoning for parcel at the 1700 block of Rosewood Drive and Fulton Street in Richland County.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to move forward with this. I know we have had good conversations with the neighborhood, and I believe future mindful changes to our development ordinances will help make this a better development. So I'm making a motion to move this item forward.
Second.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Herbert? Aye. Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell? Yes. Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
Real quick, I'd like to get a point of personal privilege. I'd like to recognize Representative Leon Howard, who slipped in on us. It's very appropriate that we're talking about housing, somebody who's helped the city. I'm trying my best to, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, they're not able able to
I want to
hear.
recognize Representative Leon Howard. Representative Howard, if you can raise your hand. My roots are in Ridgeway. I want to recognize my childhood deacon, Deacon Horace Richardson over there.
I do want us to do a mic check and sound check, because others, not just, although you have a loud projecting voice, Councilman Johnson, I think people are saying they can't hear. So we need to double check.
Mr. Bailey?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Can y'all hear me? No?
It said they can't turn them up because then we're gonna start getting feedback.
Okay.
Test, don't do it.
Hello? Better?
Yes.
All right, good.
Go ahead.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Reverend McDowell.
1, 2, 3.
Not in the mic.
We need the mic, not your preacher voice.
4, 5, 6.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
So we're going down the line here, testing.
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
All right, thank you.
You ready, sir?
All right. I guess I should do a mic check also. But anyway, the first item on our public hearing tonight is an annexation future land use map amendment and zoning map amendment for 4116 Farrow Road. And this is a request to annex the properties and to assign the land use classification of Urban Core Neighborhood Activity Center, UCAC1, and to assign the zoning of Neighborhood Activity Center / Corridor District, NAC, for a pending annexation. The property is currently classified as mixed residential, high density, and zone general commercial in Richland County.
Is there anybody here to speak for or against this item before we take it up?
No one has signed up, Mayor?
Well, I would like to acknowledge Mr. Chris Levy is in the house. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service in our community. I like to visit you. I don't want to be one of your services yet, but thank you. With that, is there a motion?
So move.
Got a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, hearing none. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Herbert?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
Our next item is an annexation, future land use map amendment and zoning map amendment for 551 Spears Creek Church Road and north side of Spears Creek Church Road. And this is a request to annex the properties and assign the land use classification of Urban Edge Community Activity Center and assign the zoning of Planned Development District for a pending annexation.
And this is a donut hole, correct?
This is a donut hole, that's correct.
And make sure that we
yes.
acknowledge, I think both of these sites, the last annexation and this one are both donut holes within the map. Is there anybody here to speak for or against this item?
Yes, sir. We have two individuals signed up to speak. The first individual's first name is Taylor. The last name may be White, but
Wolf,
Taylor.
I believe.
Divine Street, Wolf, okay. And the second individual is Duffy Bill, and we just remind speakers that they have 3 minutes.
Do y'all want to speak on this item? No.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any further discussion by council? Is there a motion?
So move, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any changes? Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
The next item is an annexation future land use map amendment and zoning map amendment for 1215 Mason Road, north side of Mason Road, and Denton Drive. And this is a request to annex the properties and assign the land use classification of urban edge residential small lot, urban edge multifamily, and transportation utilities. And that last one is within the adjacent I-20 right-of-way. And also to assign the zoning of residential mixed district RM2 for a pending annexation. The property is currently classified as mixed residential, high density, and partially within a community activity center node and zoned residential 4, R4, homestead, HM, and residential transition, RT, by Richland County. I did want to mention that on this item, I did want to talk about staff recommendation and also planning commission.
I would prefer if you go ahead, please. And
Yes.
Talk through that because I think.
Absolutely. So staff is recommending approval of the future land use classifications. And as you recall, the future land use classification is part of our comprehensive plan. And it sets a very broad policy for anticipated future development in the area. Now, staff has a split recommendation for the zoning of the property. The staff is recommending approval of the RM2 zoning for 2 of the parcels. And on this map, those would be the parcels.
Approval for 1 or 2, because it says here approval for 1 and denial 2. I'm just trying to make sure we have it correct, because what's on the agenda says denial of zoning designation for tax map 14 and 15.
Yes, right. So staff is recommending approval of RM2 for the one 16 and 01.
Okay.
And denial of 14 and 15 as shown on this map. And the Planning Commission did also recommend approval of the future land use classification. They recommended denial of RM2 for all 4 parcels.
Andrew, can you explain why you all are recommending denial for parcels 14 and 15?
Yes. So parcels 14 and 15 are at the rear of development, and there is currently, to our understanding, no proposed development. And it does serve as a good transition to that, the residential neighborhood, North 21 Terrace, immediately adjacent. And we do believe a different zoning designation would be appropriate.
And I interpret that as you don't want the same density in the 2.
Correct. So perhaps
not density, but not as many units in 14 and 15 because they're closer to the community.
That is correct. And right. So for example, a single family residential designation or a lower density multifamily would be more appropriate.
And that's mixed use.
It is, RM2 is a mixed residential, so that allows for single family duplexes, townhomes, multifamily. And my understanding is the proposal is for phase 2 of the Garden Lakes multifamily development. And of course, the applicant can speak more to what the proposal is.
Does that cut down on the number of units?
The RM2 would be the same zoning designation as phase 1. Another zoning designation other than RM2 would have a lower density and so fewer units.
And I don't know if your question may have been if with the denial, can they still do the same number of units? Because they can do the 200 without going into the parcels that you all are recommending not be zoned.
So
did I say that right?
Perhaps. The density in the RM2 district is 17.2 units per acre. And so to get 200 units, I can do some math here real quick, but I'll let the applicant talk about the size they need for the density they're looking for.
Applicant here, does he want to speak first? I know we've got a list of folks who want to speak.
Good evening. I'm Anthony Lawrence. I am an architect here in Columbia, South Carolina. Mota Design is my firm. I am working as a planning coordinator for the development team, GDA. The recommendation from staff has been accepted in terms of parcels number 14 and 15 not being considered for the RM2 designation. The development phase 2 of Garden Lakes is consumed, all of it is consumed on parcel number 16. So the 200 proposed units, which is a less density than phase 1, which is 488, is slated for parcel 16. In addition to the proposal for multifamily on parcel 16, at the corner of Mason and North Main is a part of a commercial planned for, that's being requested to be planned for commercial for the future.
I think that's the next, a separate agenda item.
Okay, all right.
That's not 01. He's talking about this other parcel above, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so that's not
Okay.
here tonight.
Okay.
So there will be commercial in that corner where the road splits to Mason? Is that the intent?
That is correct. That is correct. That's a part of the request for the annexation. But before you now is the 200 units that are planned for parcel number 16.
All right, any other questions for the developer? I know we've got folks.
Mr. Mayor, item 16 is the related item, I believe. Did you all want us to read it into the record in case the questions?
16 is the one staff recommends along with 01. 14 and 15 are the ones that staff recommended not to accept at this juncture.
Right.
Right. So I think those two are part of the future. Go ahead, Ms.
Well, no, because looking at the agenda, the commercial part is 05.
05, that's correct.
So that's not a part of this picture.
That is correct.
Okay. And the
That's why I
question is
yielded.
presenting both. I don't have a preference.
I just didn't know if it would be easier for the conversations. It seems like it might keep morphing into both parts of it. Did you want to introduce 16? So would that help with any clarifying points? Andrew?
Yeah, just for the sake of clarity, on the map that's up on the screen right now, there is a parcel ending in 16, but agenda item number 16 is a different parcel. So, and they are related requests, but they are separate
But
items.
we're on 15 right now.
We're on item 15.
That's where we're
Yes.
focused right now.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, lots of numbers flowing around.
16 is the next one.
Yeah.
16 is the commercial. It's not in with these 4 parcels that we're discussing. 16 is, if you go to item 16 on your agenda, the commercial piece is there. So I don't want to confuse because we want to stay on 4.
Yeah, so item 16
item
would be this
15.
parcel right here, right at the corner of North Main and Mason. Numbers.
Apologize for the confusion. I just wanted to speak about the project in totality, and that's because the objective is in 2005 there was a study done about this particular area of North Main as a part of our master plan. And this was considered a catalyst project, a catalyst location for how the city of Columbia would grow. And the development team that I'm working with used that as a position to make the decision that this would be a good place to start doing the housing that's been proposed. Phase one, which is shaded here as RM2, was completed just over 18 or so months ago. That project, that development, those 488 apartments have been doing fairly well. There have been discussions in the community about crime, and we've done our due diligence to understand that the level of crime is not as exorbitant as it has been perceived. The management company, Intermark, is a locally based company. There was a previous company there managing the property. The development team recognized that they were not doing the job that they needed to do, so they've been replaced. So moving into phase two, that same development team, that same management team will be overseeing the property. So, and I'm putting that information, giving it to you as backdrop to some of the reasons why we feel the success of this project is bigger than the concern for crime or a certain demographic relocating into this community. This project, as we have experienced here in Columbia with some other development projects, in order for you to get the commercial component to be very successful, in order for it to drive the growth of an area, those individuals who would be interested in doing commercial, be it local, which is what's being encouraged, as well as national, it's important to get those individuals in the community that would have the resources and the funds, et cetera, to be able to support that. The community that is there is a community that has been there for some time, fixed income. And the objective of introducing this apartment, this body of people, is to bring an influx in of different economic base that will begin to balance out those fixed income individuals versus the ones who are what we call working class. And so the objective is get the density in place so that the commercial could be here, so that it could begin to spawn some of the other commercial components that are in the area. The development team feels strongly that by doing that, this would help with the overall goal of what North Columbia could be. Yeah, we spoke with Officer Hicks from that area, who provided some information to us as we were getting input from the community. So I would have to, I don't have the documents with me about the number of recorded police phone calls, but he did explain in a public meeting that the number of calls are what they were, but you have to differentiate and categorize a phone call about a minor issue versus a phone call about something that's pretty severe. And the phone calls about that was about those items that were, or events that were not as significant or low. And I can't rattle them off the top of my head right now. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather have the document in place before I speak.
And to make sure that those documents and that data is a part of what you're trying to do over there. Anything less than that would just be a shot against the wall.
Correct.
I think it's very necessary that if we don't have that available data for crime intervention and how we react to those kinds of situations in the community, how that's going to fit in the general framework of the development itself.
And I may be able to explain that a little bit better. The information was presented at the Meadow Lakes meeting.
Yes, but the meeting, yes, Meadow Lakes, that's correct.
Yes, and I don't think Hicks was there. I will tell you what I took from the data that was presented, was that they had no violent crimes. So they had car break-ins.
Car break-ins.
But like some of my neighborhoods have shootings, and that's the difference between violent and nonviolent. But they were mostly property crimes. They had zero violent crimes. That is, and I'm summarizing what my takeaway was, since Sergeant Chief Deputy Captain Hicks.
Captain
Hicks.
Captain Hicks is not here. Yeah, he's not.
Is not here.
Not present.
That was what I put in my notes as the factor that was important to me.
And I might add that he did mention that the police force in totality, particularly with multifamily apartment housing complexes, that they're working on a task force to work with all of the multifamily properties, commercial apartment complexes within the city of Columbia, to allow the city of Columbia to have access to door cameras and things of that nature, so that they could be more, they could address any kind of issue a little bit faster, as opposed to just receiving a phone call and then responding. But if they have access to eyes on the street per se, it would benefit them in their response times and with them understanding what the nature of the call was.
Mr. Mayor.
I'm sorry, I did have one question. The emergency exit, when I read back through the presentation, it said the emergency exit, which is Kramer and, what's the intersection? Kramer and, is it Denton?
Denton.
What I saw was ambulances, EMS, and fire trucks. I wanted clarity on whether or not emergency includes police. And I don't know if anyone here has that info.
I do not know about police. I do know, as a practitioner, that the fire department requires or prefers to have a means of being able to pull their vehicle, their apparatus in a forward direction to get out of a community. So that's the nature behind the emergency exit only, which is at Kramer and Denton.
Is that a City of Columbia requirement or some other?
City of Columbia.
Okay. So city staff, I just want to make sure I understand that this week, exactly what is allowed. And then if you could help me, I want to meet with the folks who live in those 3 houses right by the fence.
Sure.
That's it.
So Andy,
Another
let me ask you a question. So we're looking specifically at
parcel number 16. 16. Not 14 and 15.
Not 14 and 15.
We agree with
We're
staff's
looking at
recommendation.
16, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. We have quite a few individuals signed up for this item. Before I call names, I will remind speakers that they have 3 minutes. We do have a timer at the podium that will turn yellow as your time is winding down. So to start off, we have Ms. Gwendolyn Singletary.
Good afternoon, Mayor Rickaman and members of City Council.
Put that close to you, please.
Good afternoon, Mayor Rickaman and members of City Council. I am Gwendolyn Singletary. I'm here not to speak against housing, but for better housing policies, stronger neighborhoods, and a meaningful plan with the people who live in 29203. The City Council's own consolidated plan makes an important comment. On page 353, it says, Columbia believes it's better to use vacant structures and land through infills and redevelopment. The plan specifically identifies North Main Street as one of the major corridors where underused property is visible. This is not just a statement in a document. To me, it's a call to action. The plan's guiding principle includes high-quality design in the built environment. Most importantly, planning together. In January, during the swearing-in ceremony, Columbia, we heard plan with the people, not for the people. Unfortunately, we're not seeing that happening with us respectfully in to housing. Columbia needs housing at every income level. Currently, we have an oversaturated low-income, affordable homes in our area. But the question to me, the question before the county, better that we just have add on 200 more apartments to 200 already. Question is, what kind of neighborhood are we trying to build? We are building a neighborhood that merely adds rooftops. We're not building a neighborhood that can attract grocery stores, quality retail, small businesses, urgent care, and others. Rooftops alone will not be the kind of investment we need in our community. Yes, apartments are fine, but we have 288 already, and you're trying to bring 200 more. What we need, renting is for people to have a house. But you showed today that home ownership means a lot more. Home ownership means something that you can leave a legacy for your family. Your program should bear that out today. We're advocating some scattered housing scenarios where people can have both. There can be rental there as well as ownership there. Also, we talked about the fact that these large subsidized developments may receive payment in lieu of taxes arrangements, and we won't see that tax base, we won't see those dollars for years and years, maybe even decades. But when you build a home and someone buys that home, we see a tax base right there, and we need that for our schools. We need that for our communities. So what we're asking in plain language is that you would plan with us to help us redevelop our corridor, that we know is there, it's been great before, it can be great again. And we're looking for you to help and step us with that. We deserve a neighborhood strategy that builds wealth, attracts investment, restores North Main Streets, and creates opportunities for the people who already live there and for the people who come into our community. Thank you.
Folks, we're not gonna have that, okay? We're gonna have a conversation. Y'all want to clap afterwards and cheer after everybody's spoken. I have no problem with that, but we're not gonna do that in between. We want to allow the process to continue to move forward, okay? It's disruptive. Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Maybe
after the last person.
Oh. Thank you. Mayor, we have Councilwoman Tyra Little.
Hello, Mayor and Council. I'm here today not in my official capacity, but I'm here as a lifelong resident of the Fairwall Acres community. And so there's a numerous amount of people that are signed up to speak on today, and all of them are going to say different things. One of the things that I want to hit on is adding an additional 200 apartments, the strain that it will put on your own City of Columbia Police Department. I'm not going to stand here and try to speak for Captain Hicks. I feel that it would be better served that he could speak for himself and what he says, as well as maybe you all evaluating and seeing the impact that that may bring to the police department. My other concern is where they're talking about retail. We already have a retail area that is across, that would be diagonal from there. The owners were unable to find businesses that really wanted to come to the community. And so to hear the dreams of what was said on the Zoom call, that, they're going to bring in all these different businesses, if we don't have people that can support that, then it's going to end up in the same issue as what we have already. Vape shops, another club, things that are not going to add to the community. And that's not what we want. Again, I am not here to speak against housing. We all need somewhere to stay. But to add another 200 apartments, I feel that it would create more of an issue than what we already have. So I'm gonna leave my next minutes to the next people to have something to say.
Thank you.
I have Councilman Sam Davis. You're next.
Good afternoon, Council.
Afternoon.
I had no plans or really no stated purpose for coming up until this has come to a head as far as what is being requested now. And my comments are based on my investment and my involvement that brought all of this to a head. And that is the initial plans and purpose, supposed purpose for putting those apartments at that location, given the history of it and what is really happening now, and based on some promises that were made. I want to really put emphasis on my emphasis on what should be spoken about, what should be the plans now as everybody understands it. Commercial development on that stretch from the Beacons company up to the entrance was specifically promised to be commercial development, with the understanding that if you bring people to an area, you have to have the resources and goods and services that they need in order to stay there and have a good quality life as they remain there and make other investments. But to continue to put and stack the housing there, rental housing, with no commercial amenities for the people who live there on a day-to-day basis, it's lopsided. So if we don't have the kind of development that would enhance the corridor, not just North Main, it's a corridor, I-20 to the State House. But to continue to pack and stack people with limited resources and no other amenities for them to sustain a quality life is it's imbalanced. And I think we all were trained on that. Some of the masters of that area, going to Kent, Senator Patterson, Reverend Whitaker, Adele Adams, so forth and so on, you name it. Those people had an invested interest. The fight for that area was more than just apartments and housing and stacking. So unless we have a hand and glove operation, an hand and glove strategy to have both, and not lopsided housing and still plan and wish and hope for commercial, then you still have a desert. That's not quality of life as I was trained to do. That's not quality of life that enhances the people who are living there now. That's a quality of life that's going to keep the young people we want to stay there and attract more. So I'm not hearing none of that in all that's being requested and all that's planned. So that was not the vision that put some hips in my pockets. It's not there. I'm trying to understand why we want to explode with apartments and the quality of life things that enhance the attraction for people are not there. Quality goods and services. Quality goods and services. If we don't have that, if we can't make that a hand and glove partnership, then we are not trying to reach our goals.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Brenda Starnes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Brenda Starnes, a part of the North 21 Terrace community, and I want to thank you for allowing me this time to speak to you. My heart is full of what I want to say, and I'm going to try to keep it brief. First thing, I am opposed to those additional multifamily units in this is a larger picture than just building homes for lower income families. It's much larger than that. This is about investors coming into our community, putting up housing that does not have a positive impact on what we are doing and bringing problems along with it. And let me say briefly about these police calls so maybe you can understand where I'm coming from, and I don't want to forget. In an 18-month period, 490 police calls to phase one of the Garden Lakes apartments, as opposed to about 130 in the other part of North 21. Now, I want you to understand, in one meeting in July, a police officer was brought in, and he told us most of those calls were domestic and simple assault. The next meeting, another officer was brought in, and he said there were no violent incidents. Now, from where I sit, a simple assault is violent. So we've got two different pictures from two different officers. So if you are going to make a decision, what you're going to have to do is look at the actual police report so you can have the facts. And I just want to share, if you will allow me, a little bit about my experience with the investors so you can understand my concerns about these units. During the first phase, I have to tell you this, North 21 Terrace was left out of the initial meetings, although the apartments were coming directly to North 21. The only way we found out they were holding meetings is someone called and told us. So I went to the next meeting, and we were shown videos of single-family homes in a community that had been built, and talked about how they were thriving. And I left that meeting thinking that we could get single-family homes in North 21. When the final plan was put in, nobody called us to a meeting to say, this is the final plan that we are going to submit. When I found out they were building the 288 units. And I also want you to understand this. When we were in the zoning hearing in July, a zoning official asked the investor, is it possible for you to build single-family homes there? The response was, we don't build single-family homes. And I had never heard that statement before. The other thing we talked in that first meeting that I went to was about a community center. And I was led to believe that we could use this community center. But in July, when we had the meeting and somebody asked about it, this is what the investor said. He said, he had a piece of paper and he said, this shows that it's for private use only. That's the first time I ever heard him use the words private use. And then we were told it could be a senior center there. We were also told that there would only be one entrance onto Mason Road. Well, this new phase calls for another entrance from Mason Road. And when I asked about that, you said that there would only be one entrance from Mason Road. And the investor said that was in phase one. But see, I had never heard those words before.
Ms. Starnes, we
yes.
apologize, but you've exceeded your 3-minute time limit.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
If you want to hear more, call me.
Thank you. Mr. James Starnes,
May I please yield to other speakers?
would you please, thank you, sir. Next, we have Mr. Gerald McNair. Gerald McNair,
Mr. McNair?
thank you.
First of all, I want to say good evening to the mayor, city council, and city manager. My name is Gerald McNair, and I'm a long-term resident of 1626. I'm in Prescott Terrace, but right now I reside at 1627 Brunswick Drive in the city of Columbia. I stand before you today because I'm deeply concerned about the proposed 200 expansion of the second phase, the God Lake Apartments at Mason Road and North Main Street. My concerns are not theoretical. They're rooted in a daily reality of the community already face. Calm down, Joe. Prescott Terrace, like much of North America, already face environmental challenges. We deal with water quality issues, flooding, ongoing strain on our septic systems. These are not just inconvenience. They impact our lives, our property values, our sense of security, and our own homes. These are real problems affecting real families every day. Adding 200 new apartment units will only intensify these problems. The increase of the water consumption alone will place a significant strain on existing infrastructure. Our water resources are not infinite. Our systems are already stretched thin. What will happen when we add more residents to this mix? How will our community cope with added pressure on a system that's already struggling? The most pressing issue is our septic system. North 21 Terrace and the surrounding neighborhoods are dealing with standing water, system overload, backup, and contaminations in the past. What concrete plans do the developers have to prevent these issues from worsening? Will they invest in new substantial systems, or will they overload the ones that we already have? Our community cannot and must not be put at future risk. As my neighbors have said, we're not opposed to growth. In fact, we want growth in our community. We're not against more housing. However, we want housing that support real economy and commercial growth. Development that brings lasting benefits, create jobs, strengthen our local economy, and improve the quality of life of our current and future residents. We believe that any expansion should be thoroughly planned, we believe that any expansion should be thoughtfully planned to serve both people who live there now and those who are to come. Given the magnitude of this project, it's important in our community, I must ask, what environment assessment has the developments conducted to quantify the effect of adding 200 units in the area? What was the outcome in this assessment? In terms of water usage, septic system capacity, and environmental risk. And with whom are these findings being shared with? Transparency and data are critical to community future. As a resident, I have not seen this information publicly, and I believe that the community deserves these vital statistics for any decision to move forward.
Mr. McNair, we
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we have Dr. Constance Lorick.
Good evening, Mayor Rickerman, Council, and City Manager. I'm also a longtime resident of Prescott Terrace. I am also the president. And we have already experienced problems with the apartments that we already have there, Prescott Manor, and they renamed Ames Manor. Then when we have our monthly meetings, we invite the police department to give us statistics on our surrounding areas. There has been, when I heard that there were 0 complaints, that is not what we heard from our local police and the police department officer that is assigned to our area. We know it's been one shooting there already within those 18 months. That was on the news. So to bring in the apartments, we don't even know the status of the 288, if they've been filled already or not. We can't seem to get an update on how many of those apartments are already filled. Why bring in more when we don't know what we have filled already? It's not convenient for us. We need a grocery store where we can get a nice grocery store that we can get, healthy and substantial food, and especially for our children and elderly people. We don't have that. And we need programs that we can have in our community that will provide resources, not only for them, but also the housing, the children, education, all that is needed. Nobody has mentioned that. And I just want somebody on city council or either these new developments to answer some of those questions instead of building more, work with what's already there. And help us put to use and get our youth, especially our youth, something to do. Because our youth have gone wild in that area. Gangs, children dropping out, selling drugs. We need help instead of building more problems. Help solve what's there already before you do anything else. And I've been in there over 60 years, so I was there from the beginning. I know what it looked like. So please, I'm not in favor of that, and most of my community is not, nor the communities around us, we're not in favor of this at all. And then we've been lied to several times. We've had a meeting last week and last night, Zoom calls with the managing company and the construction, and they've lied to us on both phone calls. They did contradicting information. You know, get your story straight.
Thank you, Dr.
Okay.
Lord. Thank you. Next, we have Representative Chris Hart.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, city manager. It's a pleasure for me to stand before you as the representative of this community for the past 20 years. They've given me that honor and responsibility, and I take it seriously. I stand before you in opposition to this project here based off of the community feedback that we've received, and they're not in support of it. Over the years, we have battled 29203 being the dumping ground for a lot of things that we do not like, that are adverse to what we're trying to accomplish in our community. I don't think anybody in this room who Terrace, Meadow Lakes, or any part of 29203 are against development. It's just the type of development. One of the things that we would have loved to have seen right now is with the apartments that have already been developed, maybe some single family homes that we saw earlier in the presentation. Some of those single family homes. I heard mention of the fixed income of the community. And I think that's a good thing. Fixed income is stability, as opposed to the diversity of you have apartments that's more transient. Let me tell you about North 21 Terrace. North 21 Terrace is one of the last hidden gems in the city of Columbia. Everybody who is here from North 21 Terrace and Meadow Lakes and 29203, they didn't just meet each other last week. They didn't meet each other last month, last year, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Everybody in this room that you see sitting here, they've been knowing each other 50, 60 plus years. I think that is very important to listen to the fabric of this community to make sure that we don't move too fast. They want development. They want to see development. And I think earlier you heard the developer and the architect come up and talk about the master plan that was talked about 20 years ago. Well, unfortunately, this is not fitting into that master plan. What happens is, I think there was some conversation about there has been no crime yet, no violent crime. Well, the more dense, the more people you have, it's going to have crime. That's just the nature of it. So while we're opposed to it, we hope that you vote in opposition to it. We would ask one recommendation. If you do vote in favor of this, require the architect and the development of this apartment complex to at least have some security, some armed security to make sure that crime does not develop at this apartment complex. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, Ms. Willie Mae Corbett. Mrs. Corbett? Okay, thank you. Mr. McLaughlin?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
That's not her.
All right, thank you. Mr. McLaughlin?
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, member of council, Madam City Manager, the staff of the city, and the people. I was just reflecting on my time here in Columbia. When I came to Columbia, we didn't have the Marriott Hotel. In fact, when I first came here, we had Macy downtown, and all of them moved out, and Columbia became a ghost town downtown. I remember Gervais Street. We had all these warehouses and everything, and I was at the Blue Marlin today, and I thought about when I was here, first came here, it was a railroad. The railroad stopped at Blue Marlin, and the city said, "Well, we can change this trajectory," and they brought the resources in to make it happen. I was on the UDAG committee with James Solomon, who was the chair. I was on the 421 committee where we only have 5 white men on city council, but they having a diversity. And I've seen over the years the innovation of the leadership of the city of Columbia. And you all know how to make it happen. I remember we want more houses for college students. And I think city council, them provide a tax incentive for those builders of apartments for college students. I remember when we wanted to get the Marriott here. Marriott said, well, y'all ain't got enough people for us to come here. We got some parameters that we use before we make these type of decisions. It's my understanding, they said, well, Marriott, come on here. What is your bottom line as far as occupancy is? I think they said, well, we need maybe 70% or something. And to tell me now that the city said, okay, whatever is the gap, we'll take care of it. So to be up to 7%. Oh, so we're coming here. And so my wife, who passed 3 years ago, we were married for 53 years. And she used to tell me all the time, said, James, why we don't have anything in our community? I live in 2923. Why we don't have anything in our community? I know we can have something if there's a will. I thought about Bull Street. Nothing at Bull Street. And look at it now. I was talking to Dr. Dozier of Columbia College. You know, Ryan moved out. They had all that space. I said, man, that'd be a great opportunity for the city of Columbia to come in and do something. The city is an economic development engine. It makes things happen in that sense. And let me say something about housing. I was a city planner. Many of you all don't know that. I studied on a fellow named Stu Chapin. He's the father of land use planning. I also studied on Harvey Gantt, who was an excellent architect and planner. Houses do not make a neighborhood. They're units. A neighborhood is made by the diversity of the people, socioeconomic diversity. I live in my neighborhood. I thank God for the people I know in my neighborhood because I was a new kid on the block and I could go to people, they could guide me. Now, when you got all people who similar economic backgrounds, they can't help each other. We just created a disaster over the long term. And I was brought up in scatter site housing where you don't have one socioeconomic group as the total population of that community.
Mr. McLaughlin,
Thank you. I want to just say to City Council, I know y'all got the strategy, y'all got the skills to make it happen. And let's look at some more development in 29203.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Paige Fox.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paige Fawkes, and I live at 1051 Denton Drive, which is a corner lot residence located right next to the zoning of the street we are referencing today. I care for 2 autistic children and 2 disabled adults. I am asking that you, as a panel, look into the zoning matter and look into the zoning matter and take what I say very seriously as reasons to not open this road. Safety is our #1 priority for our community and our children, and this would not be safe because autistic kids wander and run off a lot, and they are not aware of the dangers of unpredictable traffic coming in their play area. Autistic children don't understand the dangers of moving vehicles. This area has become an established play area for not only the autistic kids I care for, but for the other autistic children as well, whose parents may not be able to attend today. The sudden physical layout and noise levels, such as sirens, Honking horns from fire engines in our neighborhood can disrupt these kids' daily routines, leading to severe anxiety. They already suffer from insomnia, which is lack of sleep. So imagine them hearing sirens all time of the night. If this road is reopened, this will limit a lot of the autistic children from their physical freedom and therapeutic outdoor time and loss of their space, safe space. I don't want these kids to lose a safe outdoor play and physical outlet. These kids have strict routines in this neighborhood. If you could please come up with an alternative urban planning method, please think about if these were your kids or your grandkids or your neighborhood and how your family daily life would be disruptive if this was in your neighborhood. So I am one of the ladies that,
I was about to say, can you make sure that Shanique gets your information? Because I didn't want to just pull up at your house, but this way I can call ahead of time, and because I do want to sit down and talk with you and the developer to get clarity on. I'm very familiar with autistic issues. We have that in my family. Some might say,
well, I wanted to tell you, all three of the houses, they have autistic kids. It's
Okay.
my house, the house to the right, and the one next to them. We all have autistic kids, and they dart out in the street a lot, so that just,
well, that's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want to sit down and really look at between now and the second reading.
okay, and you'll have to call me.
I'm sorry, Shanique, can you please make sure you get her information? Shanique's gonna get it from you.
Okay, because a tree fell on my house, so I'm displaced someplace right now.
Can you give her where I can reach you?
Yeah, I have a number, yes.
Shanique, I think she's looking for you. Yeah.
Thank you. Next, we have Ms. Linda Ward. Okay, thank you. All right. We have Dr. Johnson. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Council, Madam City Manager. My name is Reverend Dr. L. Stefan Johnson. I am the senior pastor of the Second Calvary Baptist Church located at 1110 Mason Road, 29203. Today I stand before you to share with you, first and foremost, the concerns of members that make up the body of the Second Calvary Church. Let the record state clearly, we are not against progress. We simply support safe progress. Therefore, our concerns regarding the proposed addition, the Garden Lakes Apartments, happens to affect us right at our front door. Why, you ask, are we so concerned? Our congregation is largely comprised of senior adults. As you well know, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, it's a known fact that as we age, our skill set diminishes somewhat, especially reaction times. Therefore, we're particularly concerned about this combination of an existing steep approach to our current church entrance on Mason Road with already limited visibility, along with increased traffic volume. Moreover, this proposed new intersection, which happens to be within single-digit yards of our current entrance and exit. With a population heavily comprised of senior adult drivers, this proposed intersection will create for us a safety hazard, a major safety hazard, that is. One of our most cherished ministries at the Second Calvary Church is comprised of what we call our 400 members. 80 years old and beyond. Many of them still participate in ministry. They show up 2 and sometimes 3 times per week. Their fear is with this new intersection at our driveway, it's going to create a problem and perhaps prevent them from participating in ministry. So Second Calvary Baptist Church we recognize the fact that communities grow, infrastructure changes, However, progress should not come at the expense of reasonable public safety. Due to the increased traffic burden already around the church, a church where people have worshiped for years, for Second Calvary, this is more than a matter of convenience. It's a matter of access, a matter of safety, a matter of protecting our seniors. So in closing, let me state clearly, our concern is not opposition to progress, it's about safety and responsible progress. Safe entrance, safe exit, safe church, safe community, safe seniors. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ms. Kimberly Quarles. Ms. Kimberly Quarles.
I didn't see Kim. I didn't see her. Oh,
Good evening, everyone. Hi, my name is Kimberly Quarles. I'm the Vice President of the Farrow Acres in Harlem Heights. And we do oppose the 200 acres that want to come to the Mason Road and North Main corridor. But my concern is that the elderly people, there are a lot of elderly people from Meadow Lakes down to Harlem Heights and beyond. And the traffic and the ambulance and the fire department, we have a concern of how their interests are coming in and out. But our concern is more of the elderly, and we would like more commercial businesses and to have a more safer community. And thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Katrina Lobby. Ms. Carmen. Carmen. Those are all of the individuals that have signed up to speak on this item. Thank you. Yes, yes, thank you. If you could state your last name, I would appreciate it.
Excuse me?
We're gonna let Ms. Carmen go first.
I want to say, I want us to give you some tax dollars. Your sound system is horrible for constituents. I have never come to a meeting here and been able to hear it. So please, if you just make sure I hear what you're saying, I can either proceed or see myself.
Yeah. We're gonna call you right back up.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carmen Free. I'm a member of Second Calvary Church at 110 Mason Road. And we're not against, like you say, what's coming before us, but we just want the roads to be safety for us getting in and out, whether it can be a four-way stop sign or a traffic light or something like that. So we just want y'all to just encourage, just listen to what we're saying so we can just have the safety of our church and everybody else is coming in and out of the facility. Okay, thank you.
All right, now it's your turn.
James Starnes. Mr. Starnes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Madam Manager, the daughter of the greatest principal ever to enter Columbia, South Carolina. I'm James Starnes, and I'm president of the North 21 Terrace Neighborhood Association, and I associate myself with many of the comments made earlier. This has been one of the best city council meetings I attended. Your focus on affordable housing means that you deserve another round of applause. We're simply asking you today to be advocates for the people. The developer for these apartments have done a masterful job of hiring Mr. Lawrence, who has represented them extremely well during both of these sessions. He deserves an incredible raise. The problem we have is that as much as we are in favor of affordable housing, we have 280 apartments that were placed there after getting promises that they had reached out and were expecting an Applebee's, a neighborhood Walmart, apartments that would be occupied by professors from USC, which we didn't believe at the time. The new promises now, we were on a call the other night where one of their representatives says that he was in discussion with Domino's and the donut people, Dunkin' Donuts, and that they were interested in our area since these apartments were coming. What that person didn't realize was we can walk to a Dunkin' Donuts and a Domino's now. So we're talking about people who don't have the compassion that you're going to have for the community, that don't have a commitment to honesty. The first phase, they met and they did not call North 21 Terrace to the meeting. I called Mr. Lawrence, who graciously had 1,000 meetings with us afterwards. About 2 to 3 weeks ago, they decided to meet with a small group of people to discuss phase 2. Guess what? They didn't call North 21 Terrace. You're building this in North 21 Terrace, but you don't want to communicate with North 21 Terrace. You're not bringing anything that you believe is healthy for North 21 Terrace or that North 21 Terrace wants. I wish this was houses that you could see on Denton Drive, Colony, and Kramer. I wish you could see rooftops where emergency vehicles would come through 24 hours a day. When I was in college, I moved on Divine Street. I could throw a rock at the fire station. I knew that. I later moved into Shandon on Wilmot Avenue, if you're familiar with it, wonderfully quiet place where those trucks coming through those areas would have been a real disruption. These people deserve better. We do not need more of these apartments in that area. And I respectfully ask you to please consider those residents of North 21 Terrace and these other areas that are before you who are in the city, and not this investor who we hope can get a return. No commercial property on that corner of North Main and Mason Road, please. We have someone across the street who is in violation of county ordinances and parking trucks there for years against whatever. And now we're asking for commercial property right across the street. And they said to us in a meeting the other day, guess what? We have not requested liquor stores, vape shops, and whatever to be placed here. Well, duh. Don't let them continue to play games with the neighborhood. Encourage them to do whatever it is they do. But we need you to be as advocates, and we commit to you that as you support us, though currently we are not in the city, we will work to support you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Starnes. I think that was the last speaker. So do you have one more gentleman? Did you have somebody else on the list, Madam Clerk? Have you signed up?
I'm sorry, I do not.
Come forth, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Since I'm not 6 feet tall, I can bend them down, make me feel good. Okay. First of all, good evening.
Can you come a little closer to the mic?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, City Manager. It's an honor. My name's David Lewis. I stay in North 21 Terrace, 816 Coastberry Drive. One thing I must say that echoing some of my neighbors as well as our representative, North 21 Terrace is a historic neighborhood of people who have been through a lot of things in life. The developer that came in and said what in his presentations, unfortunately, did not tell us in any capacity when he used the term development, what his definition of development is. Apartment complexes and development, when I have worked with past developers, when I stayed in Atlanta, I have worked with which actually include businesses around that, coming to the city, getting arrangements like tax advantages. Columbia, South Carolina is a mega of companies and individuals that want to come here. But for whatever reason, his definition of what? Development, apartment complexes, nothing else. And as I'm echoing my other neighbors who have said, he downright either got selective amnesia, and to include what companies, all you got to do is ask right here in Columbia. One other thing, environmental impact is one of my neighbors emphasized. I had a good conversation with Jill Martinez. She is the key person in charge of pipes here in the whole city of Columbia. The tower that actually has the water impact is right on Fairfield Road. Not once have anybody came impact, not only that, how the water supply will have an impact on our neighborhood and surrounding areas. Whatever reason, whether selected or not, that information and data is left out. Emergency vehicles, I wonder a lot of times, why isn't it, if he's so positive on that, have even you take a fire truck around the areas that you mentioned to see if they can get there at the speed they have to go to put out a fire, to see if they can turn around the corners and not have any type of damage done to the property, or even if they can get to it. I will see it on the map. I want to thank you, have a lot more of truth to say, backed up by facts, but some of the developers that I have talked with stores here in Columbia, can't understand why developers ain't even contacted them. Think about that truth. Think about the gentleman here who's represented and wonder why you want to go and duplicate the process of having apartment complex who's got to name the same problem that you have already, one complex after another. After they make their money, they sell one to another, to another, to another, who actually does nothing at all, but try to keep the money, but yet, many of them right now has mold. And as you already know, that may have been addressed to you. If you need any documentation on that fact, I'd be more than glad to give it to you. If you want to speak with companies that I already talked to, have no problem. Speak to me. I can give you the names.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mayor, no one else has signed up for this item?
That's it.
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we deny assignment of the zoning of residential. Do I need to do my speech first? No. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. My recommendation is that we take the staff recommendation, denial of assignment of the zoning of residential mixed district RM2 for 14 and 15, and approve the assignment of the future land use classifications and recommendations, assigning the zoning of residential mixed district RM2 for parcels 01 and 016 at the time of annexation. And if I could get a second, then I will want to make some comments.
Second.
So I want to thank everybody who has come out here today. And so my notes, Erica timed me because as everyone has talked, my notes have gotten longer and longer because I want to try and address everything. But I think the first thing that is important for me to do is give you the perspective from which I come from. And what I'll start is I am the chairperson for the Affordable Housing Task Force. I volunteered for it. I worked with the committee for at least a year, year and a half, where we did a lot of research with the affordable housing folks. And had some recommendations. And we're doing those things, which is what you all saw with the earlier today. What we realize is before we can ask other people, are you timing me, Erica? Because I can get long-winded. Because I really don't want to talk too long. But we needed to activate, before we can ask anybody else to do anything, we had to activate the properties, activate the properties that we have. So we had all these lots. So we are doing our part. So that's from that standpoint. I think most people may not know, I came to the city as the Deputy Director of Community Development. And that was in 2010. So I have been doing community development or something associated with it since 2010, 16 years. And right now, I'm also the chair of the Community Development Committee. I will say it was not until I got elected that I realized my story would be relevant to today. Okay. And so I too, just like everybody else, I am from 29203, born and bred. But as I was campaigning, no one remembered me. Like I went to my old house in Greenview, no one remembered me. But I lived in Greenview twice. I lived in Meadow Lakes twice. We lived on Noble Street. I lived on Torwood Drive and Seminary Ridge. I probably had, growing up, maybe 10 moves. And that's because my mother had a Section 8 voucher. And with the Section 8 voucher, you don't have the stability sometimes, and you never know if you're going to get put out. I think we did a really good job. I always say we thought we were high cotton, I'm just going to say, when we were living in Meadow Lakes. But I have to admit, in Meadow Lakes, we had a Section 8 voucher, and no one knew that we were any different from anyone else. My mama qualified for it, working 2 jobs. She had a full-time job as a secretary, and she worked at the state newspaper in the afternoon. So that is the face of affordable housing that I know and I associate with. But what I learned during campaign time was that people didn't remember me, nor did I remember families. And that is because we moved so much. And that moving means that kids like me don't have the villages that they used to have. This whole process has taught me that if you have to move every year, or every 2 years, or every 3 or 4 years, you will never have the village that we used to have. And it's more prevalent, of course, in our lower income folks or people who work jobs, but maybe like my mom didn't make enough. But those folks end up not having the villages because they don't have a say-so. If someone wants to put them out, they got to put them out. And so I wanted to tell you all that so that you can have my perspective. Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot to add. And then I got pregnant as a teenager, and I lived in public housing in Section 8. Never told that story, don't look like that. But no, it's relevant. I think it's so relevant for my perspective. And it was transitional. I did it while I was in law school. It was a part of the plan, but it was what I had to do, and I did it. So for me to then come and say, oh, I can't do low income or affordable housing, I hope y'all can see from my perspective, that's not anything that I'm ever gonna say. And I haven't done it up and down my corridor. Now, I wanna take just a couple of minutes to address some of the comments to the best of my ability. First of all, I want to start with this very first project was when I was working for the city, and it was a regular old market rate apartments, okay? And it got shot down because it was going to increase the property taxes for the surrounding neighborhood. So we've done that. Like we tried that, it got shot down. And that's important to know. That's really where we started. The other thing for me is that because we've had phase 1, the crime stats that folks are mentioning today, you wouldn't know but for me asking Hicks to come to that meeting and report them. Because most people said that they hadn't had any problems, like they didn't have their own experience with any problems with the first phase. Not one person, but every crime statistic that you have is not because we knew, and I had to check on that because I hadn't heard about any type of murder. I did write that down. But everyone in that room, they got the information that they got from the city during this meeting because I thought it was important to know. I needed to know because that's what I'm basing my decision on. So I hear the responses of folks, and y'all, if y'all were in the meetings, y'all saw I was in the meetings. But I needed to know that information. And based on my conversations with Captain Hicks, Captain Hicks, I did not get, as the councilwoman, because I get a lot of complaints, I did not get one complaint about traffic over these years. Not one, not one, not one. And so these are things that I consider in my decision. Just really quick, I want to hit a couple of highlights. Affordable is affordable for anyone. If you're making $30,000 or $300,000, the bank says if you're going to buy a house or anything, that it needs to be affordable. What we have to understand is you can't graduate or finish school, well, not unless you got a trust fund, but most African Americans particularly, we don't have trust funds. You usually have to rent before you can buy. And if your rent is not affordable, how do you save enough money to ever move to the next level? That is why affordable rentals are important. And y'all can tell I got a lot, just because I don't want to say too much. What I will also say is there are 178 registered voters over there. So we're bringing in constituency. And if y'all know municipal elections, 174 people could change the outcome of a local election really quickly. But for those who are worried about seniors, of the 174, 42 are over 60. And they go from 60, the oldest person living there is 84 years old. Because we must understand seniors who have fixed incomes need affordable places to stay too. So I don't want the face to be just the young kids who are getting in trouble. Couple of things, strain on resources, just so y'all know, we get a report that tells us exactly how much property taxes will be. This is just for y'all to know. We get a report that says they anticipate this amount in property taxes. We get a report that says we anticipate this will be the impact on the police department. And they assess a dollar amount to it so we do our due diligence. That's really more or less what I wanted to say about that. And then I want to talk about, I think this is the last thing I'm going to say because I really don't want to say a whole lot. I told y'all to time me. Did I not start by saying time me? I mean, I really did say time me, but this is the last, because I got a whole lot more. But the last thing I want to point to is no one wanted to do Bull Street when we did Bull Street. No one wanted to do it. But the other part of not wanting to do Bull Street is everyone knows they need a grocery store at Bull Street. And they said from day one, they would have a grocery store at Bull Street. That project started, was it 2014 or 2015? 2014. Ask me if Bull Street has a grocery store yet. No, it does not. And you know why? Because they know if they don't have the right numbers, what we keep saying, the density, they will not build. Publix is not going to come until that number is there. And so that is what we are also trying to say, is that we need those numbers. And the last thing I got to say, Mr. McLawhorn, no, because I did have a note. When I left Columbia in 1992, swearing never to come back, but I came back in 2000. And everyone, and again, I'm born and bred in 29203, everyone had moved. The families were moving out to Harbison, they were moving out to the Summit, now they're moving out to Blythewood. And if you notice, that's where the stores are going. Like everything went where the people go. It is not the store first and then people move in. It is, we follow where the people are. So we need to get our numbers up, period. We haven't, and we've been losing numbers in my district, and I don't mind saying, and we've been losing Black voters. Well, I shouldn't call people voters, but we've been losing people in the Black community in record numbers in District 1, while the city is growing, okay? So I have a concern about that, and I want to make sure that I have African Americans who are in District 1 and District 2, but I don't want to go too much further into that, and I'm just going to say now we need the people to come back, and we have to build the house, and we don't have to stop, so that we can get what we used to have. And I will tell anyone, last thing, Krispy Kreme. No, seriously, I remember when we had a Krispy Kreme on North Main Street. Okay, we got to get the people back. We have to make up for all those people who have left, and they not coming back. But we have to make up for those numbers because the stores, they follow people. People, they don't wait, they don't build and say, let's see if anyone comes. That's just not how they do it and be sustainable for 30 years. So thank you. I'm sorry. I told the clerk to time me, so I hope I didn't speak too long. My apologies.
Anything else?
You're not even funny. I'm
Just
sorry.
make it-
No, there's nothing else. Thank you
wanna
for
make
your
sure.
indulgence.
So I think we have a little bit of a quandary here. Mr. Davis, I don't,
You don't.
I'm speaking as a citizen. My take back of this is I'd like to see more discussions about what the people really, really want to see in the areas.
well, if you'd let me get to
Grocery
speaking,
store-
you might hear some of that.
I know, grocery stores are good, but I still would like us to have a specific strategy for the grocery stores. Each one of these neighborhoods have specific issues and problems and partnerships with law enforcement. But what I'm not hearing and feeling is that if we can continue to isolate the specific challenges that each area has, the grocery stores is that's one challenge, one issue. Commercial development for that, if you just look at this development, that was supposed to be one of the attractions. And I don't see, and the folks around me don't see a specific strategy to bring commercial in. And I think there's a partnership between residential and commercial. You know that.
But I think, can we?
All I'm saying is, let's figure out a way.
I had the floor, right?
Okay, take it.
And I think it's important for us, because we're in a quandary here, all right? Number one, I'm not for this right now, but I'm not against it either. I think there are a lot of unanswered questions.
Right.
I think there's the ability to sit down and have a conversation, because we got to quit talking about, I want a grocery store and I want this, because we can't get it unless we build up density. We lost 9% of the population in this community. We have empty lots, well over 656 empty lots in this district that have been empty for 2 decades. Okay, this isn't blight that went away yesterday. This isn't gentrification. This is abandonment, right? And so the question becomes, how do we rebuild? We're trying to do it. We need 16,000 units of housing in this to keep up over the next decade. That's 1,700. Last year, we permitted 1,700 units, 699 single-family homes, the balance of that multifamily. We need multifamily, we need duplexes, we need townhomes, we need opportunities for people to rent to own, but we also have to have the majority of America rents, right? I would like to see this community have up to 50% home ownership. We're only at 46% across this city. These are real numbers, right? We're talking about a piece of property in a development that is specific. Some of these bigger issues we got to work on together. And it's not going to happen overnight, and you can't throw money and you can't tax your way out of it. It doesn't work. It's proven time after time after time. So what I would like to propose to the member of district, could we defer this item, have the developer, the interested parties of the neighborhood, talk about what the true development looks like. I think there are questions around the entranceway, right? There's questions about how people get in, the safety, the quality of what's going to be developed. I think there's an opportunity here to make this project better and to enhance the neighborhood. It'll take a little more discussion. I don't want to vote against it and kill the opportunity that's there, but I don't feel I have 100% support for it at this point because there are a lot of different questions. I also want to clarify some of the information because I think there's too many competing interests that don't have all the facts. And I think the facts are important as we're having a discussion. And so for me, I think there's an opportunity for us to take a step back, slow it down, but fix it. I'm not saying that we're walking away from it. But there is a way to do this. I mean, I agree with staff. There's concern about annexing and changing zoning for all of that. And maybe that's an opportunity there that maybe we could negotiate the single-family home piece, right? But that's not the only piece there. I want to remind the neighborhoods, especially in this neighborhoods, as well as some of our churches own a lot of land. They've been talking about building houses as long as I've been around this city, and I've been here 20 years, right? It's time to put up. They got to be part of the solution. Also, when you talk about youth, that's not the city's responsibility, y'all. We try to enhance with our parks and everything else. Parents, our religious institutions, and others. Our officers' job's not to babysit people's children. We are not going to take those responsibilities on. I say that in the greatest compassion because everybody up here has been working their tail off to change things. And it's hard. There are so many little elements that are important to change. I wish I had a wand. You know, I could go blow $100 million, right? But if there aren't people there supporting, and we've struggled in places, we don't want to struggle. We want it to grow. It takes time. But the number one thing, we got to build back neighborhoods. And I'm not talking about just houses and brick and mortar. I'm talking about relationships. Mr. Lawhorn, you talked about knowing your neighbors. In my neighborhood growing up, everybody knew everybody. And you needed something, you could go next door. You got in trouble at your neighbor's house, and then you got it at home twice, right? Because people cared. Our neighborhoods today, there are too many gaps. When you go in there and you go with our officers or you go with EMS or something, and somebody can't even tell you who that person's name is, that's not a fabric. That's not building a neighborhood. That's just somebody in and there. So we have an opportunity here to take a group that wants to make an investment, make a better project out of it, and make sure that we have all the information. And then I think everybody can go home and say, a good day has happened. I would ask, Ms. Herbert.
She has a motion on the floor.
You got a motion on the floor. Would you be willing to withdraw your motion and we ask for a deferral so that we can sit down with the development team and the area and see where the common ground is, and let's make something happen?
So I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
For you. Will today, because we had a public hearing today, this is the public hearing.
This is the public hearing. We
Okay.
can't change that, no.
Right, I'm saying that so we can explain it to folks. We have had, I think, 2 meetings, and then there've been some smaller groups. The only thing that I ask is that we have the timing right, because there are always, we didn't know until, I mean, do you see what I'm saying? So if we can put some parameters in place so that some of the complaints we had today, we don't have. And for example, the last time, we were like, they had one, it was like, we need another one before that date. Well, it only gave you 2 weeks. Do you see what I'm saying? It only gave you 2 weeks. So maybe a timeline of one more public within the next month. And I'm just saying this because I want us to have time, and folks not to say that they didn't know. I want we have time to get it to everybody. And then the vote, but at least let's have the meeting within 30 days.
I would like to request that we hold the meeting, right? We call the meeting so that we know everyone's been invited, right?
Okay.
And that everybody's there for the conversation. And I would encourage people to show up with the mindset of, how do we make a project better that enhances the neighborhood, and not I'm against everything that leads there? Because I don't think we're going to be wasting each other's time. So we need to address some of the issues that are before us, and then have that meeting. Yes, sir, Mr. Bailey.
We had a lot of public testimony tonight. It's almost 7 p.m. I know there's been a lot of meetings between the community and the developer before today. If we're going to have another meeting, I would like to know if the developer is going to give some guarantees to this community versus more meetings, more discussions, and we come right back here again.
Well,
I would be
think two
ready for
things.
a vote on
We're in the
this.
driver's seat, right?
Yeah, right. So
We're in the driver's seat, and so I think us having the conversation, I also want to make sure that the facts that have been said here and the information is correct. Because there's a big dispute in what crime statistics are. The numbers I heard, they weren't violent. I want to make sure everybody knows what we're talking about, right? Because all of that plays in. Understanding the true safety plan from entrance and exit, very important. It does have an adverse effect in that area. So I would say this isn't about wasting time, because there are a whole lot of other people who may not have been here tonight, right? There are also opportunities every day. We have 5,000 people waiting for housing right now that are on a wait list. So if we go into this without trying to figure out a way to create balance and make something, we're making a disservice. That's just as bad as not building a new house for an employee or someone else. We're not making an opportunity to open up other housing, because you're going to see people shift housing. And the question is, I think we have some questions we want to know as well. I think the question of, is phase 1 already full? How has that been affected? How long have those tenants been there? What does it look like? What does the property do? What the future growth is? Is there an opportunity to build townhomes and other stuff? Or would they sell that other portion of property that we could bring a developer in to bring single-family housing that adjoins that property? If you look at 14 and 15, that would be a perfect compromise to do there, because that creates a whole nother buffer scene there. So I think we owe it to ourselves to take the extra 30 days to do that, in my opinion.
But there has to be collaborative conversation. There has to be collaborative conversation that's going to engender the kind of what's to happen in this area. There has to be conversation that will speak not only to the developer, but to Mr. Anthony. Where is he? Is he there? Mr. Anthony, you still here?
Over here.
Yeah, he's back there.
I think, okay, that kind of conversation endears and engenders a kind of collaborative effort within the community. And right now, I think that's what we need. So, Ms. Herbert?
Mr. Johnson?
Mr. Mayor, first, I think you got a substitute motion on the table. I'll second that while we have this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen of the public, I'm the I'm the member of council who's a little bit more brief than the mayor and Councilwoman Herbert, so I'll make this brief. I want to point out a couple things. The Federal Reserve put out a report in July that pointed out that 49% of folks 35 and younger live with their parents. So when we talk about affordable housing, we talk about the fact that we need our young professionals, our folks who are looking for an opportunity to get to the single-family homes that we're building. Mayor, you mentioned 16,000 home deficit that we have here in Columbia. We've got 2,000 lots in Columbia. We talked about 2 of them today on the agenda, making sure that our city employees have a pathway to home ownership. We're going to continue down that track. I heard several folks talk about having a conversation and making sure that this is the beginning of a collaborative conversation, talking about the vision and the plan of for Columbia. Single family, multifamily, creating long-term opportunities that ultimately get towards home ownership are a part of that vision and that plan. But that means that we need the full continuum of housing to get there. I also want to point out one thing, Councilman Herbert, you mentioned Bull Street. Bull Street has affordable housing on it. So I think it's important to understand that mix of housing is extremely important, but also gets you to the development that we ultimately want to see. I'd be remiss as somebody who may be the freshman, the junior member of city council, newest member of city council, but also has been here in one shape or form the last 20 years. We've talked about not moving too fast when it comes to housing for 20 years. If we want to get to the grocery stores, if we want to get to the type of density that gets us to grocery stores, then we've got to start moving, y'all. To get a grocery store, you need 6,000 to 8,000 rooftops within a 1 to 2 square mile radius. Right now, in this area, we've got 1,500 homes. We are far short of 6,000 to 8,000 homes that we need in a 1 to 2 square radius to get to a grocery store, to get to some of the amenities that we want. So we've got to build, y'all. We've got to grow as a city if we're going to ultimately get some of these things that we want.
And so, Mayor, the only thing I think I figured out what I was trying to say.
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever date we have, it needs to allow at least 3 weeks' notice. That's what I was trying to say. Especially if we are going to set it, then I think 3 weeks is enough for folks to be able to come.
Would that be enough time, Ms. Herbert?
3 weeks?
3 weeks? Would that be enough time?
Y'all need more do people need more than 3 weeks?
And a good sound system.
I'm sorry?
It's 3 weeks? Yeah, I think 3 weeks. We put it out and get it to the key folks, and y'all push it out. But
So when do you want to set the date?
oh no, I can't do scheduling. But I'm just saying whatever
I
day
just want to make sure that we give the clerk a date. Are we talking about bringing this back on the second meeting in
September 15th.
Be the 15th? That's,
No.
no?
Well,
You want to
can't
do
think that
October
fast.
1st?
Why don't we do October 1st?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say October 1st. And I'm sorry, the mayor's put me on the spot with my calculations in my brain. But
Sorry,
it'll take us a couple of days to,
October 6th.
it'll take us a couple of days to set it and then get the 3 weeks. So
6.
I will push you close to the September 15th meeting, so to be safe, do you just want to say the first meeting in October?
Yes.
Which is
'Cause we don't-
October 6th.
yeah, we don't
Yes.
want to rush it. That's what we say, yeah. But anyway, I just want to put a timeline in place so that, it's not last minute and folks don't get word.
So no vote today.
So there's a submit. You want to withdraw your motion, or you want me to make a
Yeah.
subsequent motion?
Oh, I thought Sam seconded the substitute.
Well, I didn't really make a motion.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you did. My bad.
The mayor didn't make a motion. It was seconded by Ms. Herbert, right?
Madam
No,
Clerk.
you were asked, the mayor asked the councilwoman would she entertain that, and then she went into some questions that she had for him.
Yeah.
So the motion has not been made.
No.
You would
There has
just,
not been a motion.
If Councilwoman
Not
Herbert
a
would,
subsequent motion.
I'm sorry?
Go
if
ahead.
Councilwoman Herbert would withdraw her motion, and then we can make a motion to defer the item.
Okay. So I am going to withdraw my motion to go with the staff recommendations, noting that we are having the public hearing today because it was noticed and folks are here, and that the city is going to take responsibility of having an information session with the developer. And when that date must be advertised or sent out at least 3 weeks before the actual meeting.
So 3 weeks from now, which would put us at the first, that'd be right after Labor Day.
And is there ability for the whole development team to be there for this meeting versus just some? Can that happen?
I don't know if it's necessary.
He's good.
That can work?
Yep.
Sir.
Was that clear as mud, my motion? Okay.
So the
The
three,
interesting thing, I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, the interesting thing, the first motion is that it has been withdrawn, right?
Yes, sir. And that does not require a motion, it's just been withdrawn.
Okay, it's withdrawn. The motion now that's on the floor is what?
To defer first reading of the matter until October 6th. And in the meantime, there will be an information session held with the development team and the community, and that proper notice will be given.
That's it. I'm ready.
Did I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Ready for the roll?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
So do we want to do the same thing with item number 16?
Yes.
Because that was just item 15.
Yes.
So,
Should
Now,
I introduce the item?
I
Let's
need,
go ahead and have the public hearing on that item.
yeah,
On 16? Yes.
okay. So we're going to go ahead and have the public hearing on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we get all of them?
Madam Clerk?
Okay, so item number 16 is a zoning map amendment request. This property is already inside the city. And this is 3.03 acres on the north side of Mason Road at North Main Street. And it is this parcel right here. And you can see right there, that is and so the request is to rezone the property from residential mixed district, RM2, to mixed use district, MU1. And I do think it may bear noting that the MU1 district is one of 2 mixed-use districts that we have here in the city of Columbia. And this, we would consider to be a light mixed-use district. It does allow for residential uses. It does allow for limited commercial. There were some questions about whether or not liquor stores and vape and convenience stores would be on that property. And those are uses that are not permitted in the MU1 district.
So say that again
Yes,
very
say that again.
loudly so everybody hears that.
Yes. So the MU1 district, it's a mixed-use district. It is what we consider to be a light mixed-use district. It does allow for residential uses. It does allow for general retail, restaurants, and the like, but it does not permit convenience stores. It does not permit liquor stores. It does not permit vape stores. So those were things that were mentioned earlier.
Everybody from the neighborhood hear that? I just want to make sure the commercial piece that we're discussing this zoning does not allow liquor stores, vape shops, or convenience stores to be located on that property. Just want to make sure everybody hears that.
And Mayor, what I will add is, and if someone should come and try to, we have this, like, they would have to have a hearing and you all would be able to voice your concerns about it if someone tried to, because I guess,
They'd have to rezone it.
yeah.
Right. So again, the district in our packet, it does list the allowable uses. And like I said, there are residential uses, so a single-family detached townhomes, multifamily, daycare facility is a conditional allowed use. A duplex is a permitted use. Fraternity or sorority house or residential care would be allowed, but only by special exception, which is posted and heard by the Board of Zoning Appeals. Government offices, libraries, places of worship, public safety facility, an elementary, middle, or high school is by special exception. Medical or dental office is permitted. Social services facility is permitted. Nursing care facility, a cemetery, arboretum are both special exception uses. But a park or greenway, a parking lot, minor utility facility, a major utility facility such as a substation would be a special exception reviewed by the Board of Zoning Appeals. Veterinary hospital, an eating establishment, and a type 1 eating and drinking establishment would be permitted, and that would be something that is not allowed to be open past midnight. A type 2 is allowed by special exception, but also business professional offices, beauty salons, dry cleaning, laundry, nail salon, a recreational facility, what we call a consumer goods store, so that's your general retail. That would be a clothing store would be permitted, a farmer's market, a grocery store, a bed and breakfast, community garden, crop production and processing, and light manufacturing assembly. Those are the allowed uses. But again, a vape store, a liquor store, a convenience store is not permitted within that district.
Okay.
Anybody signed up for this?
No, sir.
Madam Herbert,
Or,
what did you want to do on this one?
Did I hear someone else talking? Okay. I would like to make a motion that we defer the first reading of this agenda item number 16 to, I believe, October 6th. And in the meantime, the city will hold a information session, which will give folks at least 3 weeks' notice of that date. So it'll be sometime in September.
Should we specify in that the developer and the architect?
You didn't want the whole development team.
Whole
there.
team.
Okay,
So I don't know who the whole development team is, but,
them.
okay.
oh. I don't know those parts. Okay.
Come
No,
here.
we'll have it, it'll be one meeting.
It's the same meeting.
All the
Same meeting.
parcels.
It'll be covered
just
in the
we'll have
same
whole
meeting.
team.
Oh, yeah, of course, of course.
It's all
Whole
for the
team.
record.
Yeah.
Nope, not a problem whatsoever. In phase one, we had 12 community meetings, so it's not a problem to have another community input session.
All right.
With the entire development team,
With
with the whole team coming to the next meeting.
I will definitely do my best to get the entire development team into the
I would
into the
encourage
meeting.
you not to do your best to make sure they're there.
Yes.
Well, so this is what I'll say too. It may mean that we have to coordinate schedules.
Yeah. That's what.
Because
Yeah,
if
we got to.
if
Sure.
we schedule it without considering.
Sure. But I do want to add, if I may, that the objective is to have a conversation about what is possible and as opposed to what is not possible. And that has been the platform since the very inception of this development of this property. It has not been the objective to bring something into this community that's going to mar this community, going all the way back to the 2021 when everyone was everyone has been focused on that first Main Street project, which was called Azurist. That's not what this is. The ownership of the property changed, and there's a new owner of the property who is doing phase 1 and phase 2. Thanks.
Thank you.
Second.
A motion and a second. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert? Mr. Britton?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
The last thing I'll say is, if we're trying to coordinate schedules with several people, is maybe we should give them several options before we lock in whoever's going to do it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this next item is a major amendment to a planned development for the Harbison Planned Development District, and this is to permit body piercing facilities and tattoo establishments within designated commercial and employment areas. And these are properties that are generally found on Harbison Boulevard, Columbiana Drive, Bower Parkway, Saturn Parkway, Fernandina Road, Parkhurst Drive, Lake Murray Boulevard, Kinley Road, and Woodcross Drive. And so this map that is up there is a map of the Harbison planned unit development within the city of Columbia. And this map shows the areas that would be affected by this major change. And to explain what a major change to a planned development is, it does not change the boundaries of the planned development district, but a planned development district is, in a way, thought of as a self-contained zoning district. And this is the mechanism by which the text of that plan development is amended. So this is essentially a text amendment for a planned development district. And our ordinance does say that it is treated like a map amendment. So we have posted it like a map amendment, and we've advertised it like a map amendment. And again, specifically, the request is to permit body piercing facilities and tattoo establishments within those commercial areas of the planned development. Originally, the planned development was, I think, drafted in the 80s, adopted into the city in the 90s, and so.
But this has been requested by the community association. They're
By the Harbison Community Association, that's correct.
Is there anybody here to speak for or against this item?
I had one quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
Just do we have any information about why the request is being made, or they're here?
Sure. So when the city, or sorry, when the state of South Carolina legalized tattoos in mid-2000s, I believe it was 2007, we as a city adopted a requirement that tattoos were approved only by special exception. And we have since amended our ordinance. But what happened is the Harbison Community Association back in 2008 requested that tattoo facilities be considered a major change within the planned development, so that each time any tattoo facility wanted to locate, they would have to go through this process where we would advertise and post and go through this essential rezoning process for each and every tattoo facility. Since then, according to the applicant, they do not have the same concerns that they had back in 2008. The industry has matured within the state and within the city. And so they just want to make it an allowed use within those commercial and employment areas.
Thank you.
Question. I see Lake Murray Boulevard here. Does Irmo have the same requirements? Because I know if you go up Lake Murray towards San Andrews Road, that's Irma over there, do they allow, I guess, tattoo shops on their part?
There are parts of this planned development that are outside the city of Columbia, and there are parts in unincorporated Richland County, parts within the town of Irmo, and parts in unincorporated Lexington County. I am not directly familiar with what the requirements are within those jurisdictions, but this amendment would only affect what is within the city of Columbia.
Does anybody have any information what Irmo or the other areas are doing? I'm wondering if only in the city of Columbia will you be able to get tattoos and piercings in that side of town versus the other municipalities?
Yes, well, I don't know specifically. So the question, yeah, and I think the applicant can answer that.
Would you all like to hear from the applicant?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mayor, City Council, City Manager, my name is Ralph Bell. I'm the president of Harbison Community Association. Rake, our staff for RDRC and the DDRC put in this request some time ago. What has happened is there in the mall, we have a tenant that moved in a store, My Salon, and the city approved everything and got them in there. And they do tattoos for females, eyebrows and stuff like that. And then once they applied through our process, as I explained, because we're a PUD, they weren't allowed to actually operate. So we went ahead and put in this amendment to the zoning so that they could operate their business. So it's kind of a, mixed zoning thing to where we have to have you guys, or we have to amend our zoning so it complies with your zoning. But the business is there and they are actually running right now. So
It was just a little unusual because we don't get a lot of requests to permit piercing facilities and tattoos. So I wanted,
but this will,
so I figured there must be a reason.
and we're amending our actual zoning, so this will bring it in line with your guys' zoning. So you're really not amending your requirements, you're bringing our requirements in line with yours.
And one last question, how long is the name of the business again and how long it's been open?
My salon's been there probably less than a year, 6 months, something like that, yeah.
Was there any ability for a special exception versus amending the entire, well, this is probably a planning question, I'm sorry.
No problem. Thank you.
Andrew, the question was from Mr. Bailey was, is there an opportunity to give a special exception for this individual versus changing the whole zoning? Because it is a massive area you're talking about.
A planned development does not have a mechanism for a special exception.
And if you amend it, you have to amend the entire area. Is that correct?
Right, unless you want to, every time a business owner wants to open a tattoo facility, to go through a major change where we advertise the planned development.
So as this proposed amendment now, you could get a tattoo in the mall, essentially, because Columbiana Mall, if there was a tattoo parlor or shop there.
Correct, or other commercial areas, yes.
I think some people have signed up. Can we allow them to speak? I know the gentleman in the back's been waiting.
For the record, I have a lot of tattoos for anybody who's wondering. I have a lot of tattoos.
Oh.
So I'm not anti-tattoo.
Diane Parham.
Contacts.
Yeah.
I only have one.
But they have not responded at all. This, as the gentlemen have said, is a major amendment to zoning for a significant area of the Harbison community. If I'm understanding correctly, it's over 500 acres, some of which is adjacent to residential neighborhoods. So I came here tonight to ask you if you would please defer a vote on this matter right now until a later city council meeting, so we could allow time for the residents of this affected area to learn more about why this rezoning is taking place, why it's necessary, and how it might affect the community that we live in. Again, I received no responses to my outreach for information. There's no information on the Harbison website. There's no way to get information. The only thing I heard about was the little tiny pink zoning signs. I counted 4 in our neighborhood. They are impossible to read from a moving vehicle, and all you see if you get up close is tax map numbers, so that's not really informative. As a longtime homeowner in this community, as well as a former board member, I know that sometimes our community can be treated primarily as if it's just a business district, but the truth is there are many neighborhoods and hundreds of homes tucked inside that business area. And the people who live there, who own homes, want to protect the value of our property and the character of our community. We need information from the people who are supposed to be representing our interests. We need more time to gather the information that the Harbison Community Association has about why this particular change is being requested and in such a sweeping fashion. I fear that this may have the potential for overreach and unintended consequences, including eroding some of the very regulations that have protected our community since its inception. Understand that as an Irma resident, I don't have any real representation on this council, but I hope you'll listen, and I hope you understand that I appreciate that the decisions you make can affect my home and my community. So again, I'm just asking you today to defer consideration of this matter to a later date to allow the residents of our community to get some answers from the Harbison Community Association. And I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
I do have a question, and I don't know who the best person is to answer it. So it is always, for me, a requirement that you sit down and talk with the community folks. What is that entity or group of people for you all? Is it the Harbison Community Association, or are there any smaller groups, or that is it? Whoever can answer.
If I may. My name is Ray Cloutier. I'm with the Community Association as their development director and senior advisor. And one of my major job descriptions is being staff for the Design and Development Review Committee. That is a committee of the association. Its sole intent is to create guidelines and to enforce guidelines as the committee has created. As it was explained, the timeline obviously been around 50-something years. Went into the city in 89-ish. At that time, tattooing wasn't around to begin with, because I don't even know it was passed by the state allowing it. Anyway, in getting the when the city of Columbia did annex all the undeveloped property in Harbison, they asked the design DDRC to identify more specifically what's allowed uses and what's not allowed uses. So the chairman of the DDRC, Mr. Nagler, you may or may not be familiar with him, excuse me, sat down with old council person, Franny Heiser, and a Harbison resident, and went through the entire table of uses that the city had. And we came to the conclusion, they came to the conclusion that generally what is outright permitted in C3, that's how old the regulations were. It's not even all this other mix this and mix that. But it's C3, commercial district. Outright uses are generally allowed in any of Harbison's commercial and employment designated lands. The special exception is not a matter of a PUD. And so we went through all the special exceptions uses, and we decided this one and that one and this one and that one we would allow outright. But then, because special exceptions have a reason for it to be special exceptions, we looked at it and said these, and we itemized in our guidelines uses that needed to be a major change, needed public scrutiny beyond the 5-member DDRC.
And just for my clarity, this is a 5-member DDRC that you all have for the PUD,
Yes.
not our
No,
DDRC.
yours is, yeah, yours is a design commission, ours is a design and development review committee. It is an appointed committee by the Harvesting Board of Directors annually for 1-year terms. And I went through the special, and we
Sir.
itemized uses that we would consider needing more public input, major change. That's created the major change category. Over time,
That part.
do I need to stop?
I think so. I'm sorry. So is there a public process? What is the process for the public, the members of the PUD? If someone,
Councilwoman,
I'm just trying to figure out when they have an opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. And I believe Mr. Cloutier was Ralph Ray. Yes, okay. I believe he was suggesting that it be deferred because I'm not sure that, to your point, they're saying maybe some of these processes, they just would like to revisit and make sure.
Can I just ask a quick question?
If you don't mind, I'm president of the board. We saw the postings also. Ray was working this week. I'm sorry.
Use the mic, thank you.
Ray was working with Mitch. We have 2 board members that are part of the business. One is Columbiana Mall, and the other one is over where the Total Wine is. So this was kind of working through our own DDRC, and the board wasn't aware. So I would like to ask for deferment because we're going to have our next board meeting next Tuesday. Our board knows about this, but we haven't really put it on the agenda. It'll give the members time to be part of this. They can email our board members and stuff. And that's why, like she hasn't really had a chance because we really haven't had a chance.
Well, we do have some people here who wanted to speak, so I want to make sure they have the opportunity to speak.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
Thank you.
Y'all didn't.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon or early evening. My name's Mason Snyder, and my wife and I own My Salon Suite, or the business that they were talking about. And we opened our newest location at Columbiana Center right at a year ago. Our business is really simple. We create spaces where people can build businesses of their own. We have 3 locations in the city and roughly 100 independent small business owners who now have a place to be able to operate and serve their clients and build something for themselves. 27 of those businesses are located in that Harbison location. And so that's why I think this conversation is a little bit bigger than simply allowing tattooing and piercing. I want to acknowledge it sounds like there's some people that want more time to organize feedback and kind of process all of this, and I think that's a fair sentiment. At the same time, the Harbison Community Association had brought this to the attention of council to essentially align Harbison with uses that the city already permits elsewhere. And I think that distinction matters. I think that there is a connotation sometimes that's associated with tattoo shops that are outdated stereotypes that kind of come with that. And I have a lot of tattoos myself. I'm also a husband, a father, multi-business owner, and someone who is involved and invested significantly in the city of Columbia, and I care deeply about this community. I don't think that those things are in conflict with one another. And I think a lot of the people who are a part of our communities are artists who are simply allowing people to, express themselves through art on their bodies. There are tattoo shops all over the city of Columbia, and there are certain restrictions and health requirements that the tattoo artists are required to uphold, and we are not asking for any less restrictions on them or any changes in that whatsoever. We're just simply allowing for our little part of the city of Columbia to be allowed to operate just like all the other businesses are.
I think the problem is when they took this into a master plan development, they didn't account for that.
Yes.
So that causes for a massive change. And I think what you're hearing is everybody trying to find a solution,
Yeah.
but also not opening Pandora's Pandora's box, because unfortunately, not every one of the operators operates like you and your wife do. I mean, there's a great tattoo parlor right down the street from here that she specializes in working with cancer patients, right?
Yes.
There are a lot of different needs for tattoos. It's not just art. It's also about
Yeah.
giving people respect and pride back after they've had disfiguring
Oh, for sure.
surgeries and everything else. So we hear you and we're trying to figure out a solution. It's just, this is so massive of an area. It's got to be thought through a little bit. And it's very hard when it's coming through and really nobody really knows. There seems to be some confusion on the process and themselves. So we just would like to have the time to sort it out and figure out how we can keep you operating.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And I'll just note, and the chair of the arts committee may invite you in one day so we can hear more about your business.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Who did you say was going to reach out to me? Oh, you were. Okay, got it.
Sounds good.
So, Mr. Mayor, do we need a motion to defer?
Yeah, did you have a motion to defer, Madam District?
You want to make it?
I move to defer.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
For the sake of clarity, are you asking to defer the public hearing or the first reading?
The first reading, sorry.
Yeah.
Clarify that. Will
It
you
may-
amend your motion to include?
Maybe a good idea
first
for the
reading.
public hearing too, don't you think? It may be a good idea, let's start over on this.
Just want to defer the whole item for clarity? Okay, then we'll stick with the motion we have. That defers the entire item,
The entire item.
Entire item?
including public hearing.
Okay, and just as a procedural note,
You have to advertise.
we'd have to advertise again, so the earliest it would be the October public hearing.
In the meantime, we're all going to be working diligently to figure out what's going on here and how we fix it.
Get more tattoos.
And I just want to clarify that you all have a meeting between today and the next public hearing. Oh, that is right, next week. So that should line up well.
October 20th.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
Now it's your turn.
Okay.
We got to vote.
Don't mess it up.
We got to vote.
Here, ready for the roll?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson, Mr. Bailey.
Yes.
Ms. Herbert. Aye. Mr. Brennan.
Yes.
Mr. McDowell.
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman.
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, Levin.
All right.
All right, item 18, and we're going into ordinances for first reading. I'm going to read the item into the record, and Mr. Steinman, our Planning and Development Services Director, will provide some information thereafter. Ordinance number 2026-077, an ordinance to establish a temporary moratorium on residential intensification of 2, 3, and 4 family dwellings on the expansion of vehicular use area and on the conversion or demolition replacement of single-family detached dwellings within the neighborhood areas depicted in Exhibit A, pending consideration of amendments to the Unified Development Ordinance to provide for findings, exemptions, a sunset date, and severability, and for other purposes.
Mr. Mayor, I think it's appropriate that we hear the presentation before we vote. Is that all right with you?
All right, can we, the
And I,
ordinance that's written in here, I'm not sure the language is correct. It's supposed to be duplexes, triplexes, 4-unit buildings. It says 2, 3, and 4 family dwellings. Just want to make sure, because there's some, people get confused with the dwelling. So when you go through the process, make sure you explain exactly what we're talking about.
Yes, sir.
Because some people think there's confusion with that, because I know several people, they thought it was about bedrooms on regular single-family houses, and I'm clarifying that it's about duplexes, triplexes.
absolutely. There's the first note of many public meetings we're going to have on this, Justin. To everybody that stuck around for item 18, thank you. Thank you for enjoying some wonderful conversations about our growing city. You can see every corner of our great city is growing. Some neighborhoods have some issues and others have different issues. So I just want to give a brief intro and then turn it over to Justin Steinman, our planning director, who's really been working very closely with us on these items that are affecting some of our downtown neighborhoods. We've been made aware of trends in non-owner occupied real estate in several downtown neighborhoods. Adding bedrooms to existing multifamily, to the mayor's point, duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes, all this, which increases the density on parcels downtown. Some of those effects, parking densities that were never planned for, that neighborhoods have to suffer through. And finally, single-family houses being chopped up to duplexes and triplexes in many of our major downtown neighborhoods. These are just some of the concerns that have been brought to our attention. And the reason we'd like to study these is to understand long-term infrastructure issues and community character and consistencies. So, Mr. Mayor, my colleagues, I appreciate you allowing us to bring this forward. And I know one of the most deflating sentences you can hear is, we've prepared a PowerPoint presentation for you, but Justin has got some great information and a few slides we want to roll through and talk about the timelines as we work through this pause on these items.
Sure, and I assure you it's a beautiful PowerPoint that you will thoroughly enjoy. So, Councilman Brennan really spoke to why we are doing this, why a temporary pause, kind of three major things that we are seeing in districts that are predominantly historic, or if they don't have historic protections, they are older neighborhoods that have lots of record, that are often smaller than the standard lot sizes that would allow for 2, 3, and 4 family dwellings. Part of the reason we don't use those interchangeably. We explain duplex, triplex, and quadplex in most of our outward-facing material, but ultimately we're regulating what can go into a single unit on the basis of a family, 3 or more unrelated. And so that's why we use that we're calling duplexes, triplexes, and quads 2, 3, and 4 family dwellings. So some of the intensification that we're seeing that is to the detriment of neighborhoods are in these neighborhoods. We are seeing additional bedrooms being added to existing buildings. We're seeing yards paved for parking right now, especially in the design districts. We only regulate what is in front of the front plane of the building. So if you draw a line from across the front, everything that is behind that we don't regulate. And one example shown here shows a duplex, I think on Enery, that is almost all of its yard is paved. We're also seeing some single-family houses converted to duplexes or other units, and at times also existing single-family demolished to allow construction of new 2, 3, or 4 family dwellings. So what the moratorium would do, if this is gonna...
Justin, can you pull the microphone to you a little bit, too, please, sir? Thank you.
And I'm not sure why this is not working. Okay, there we go. So what the moratorium would do is for the 180 days of its duration, which are extendable in up to 90-day increments after that 180 days, would be to prohibit issuing permits for adding bedrooms to any existing 2, 3, or 4 family dwelling. It would, for those same types of dwellings, it would prohibit the issuing of permits for expansion of existing or expanded parking. And then it would also prohibit converting single-family houses to 2, 3, and 4 family dwellings, or demolishing a single-family house to build one. The 6 neighborhoods it would apply in are Granby, Wales Garden, Hollywood, Rose Hill, University Hills, MLK, and Wheeler Hill. These are neighborhoods where we are seeing a lot of this activity take place. And so why a moratorium? Essentially, we are looking at a moratorium. at a permanent ordinance that would implement a lot of the restrictions of the moratorium on a more permanent basis, but we have some studying to do, right? So we need to see what the impact is of especially items like 2 for new and expanded parking. Like, we have an idea of what we think we want the maximum to be, but we need to see how well that's going to work. We don't want to make lots totally undevelopable. Same thing with conversion. We want to look at existing zoning and how many lots are actually where it's actually possible to to demolish and then rebuild a duplex, triplex, or quadplex. So the 180 days gives us actually a fairly limited amount of time to study this, because there are 2 boards and then this body that need to hear the permanent ordinance. So assuming the schedule is maintained, then the moratorium would take effect on September 1st. In between now and November 19th, we would be working on that research I mentioned, and we would also be reporting back to you at least once, maybe twice during this process. And because a number of these districts are historic, we would be going to HPDRC for essentially a review and recommendation, then to Planning Commission, and then coming back to you with a plan returning here on January 19th. February 28th is the end of the 180 days, but as we're reporting back, if more time is needed, we can always request that and kind of see how things are going. We also need to do some research in regard to how many permits are being issued for all these different activities and where, because the geographic boundary of the permanent ordinance could also differ from what the moratorium applies. It could be bigger, it could be smaller, but we need to back all that up with data. So that is kind of the gist of it. Do you all have any questions?
I mean, I'm just assuming that as we go into these public hearings and a review, we're going to have some more examples exactly, and some real numbers too behind how many parcels this affects. And then also understanding from the paving side, how will that affect residents? Will they be held to the same standard on property? Because there are some houses I can name in some of the historic areas that have a parking problem. They can't rely on street parking for their lifetime, so how is that going to affect them? I just want to make sure that we're having the discussion with everybody, that everybody understands what the permanent effect will be and how it'll affect all properties, not just proposed rentals. Correct?
Absolutely.
If there's no other questions, Justin, I appreciate it. I'd like to make a motion to move ordinance number 2026-77 forward.
Second.
Do you have you good? Okay.
Is that a second?
There's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, would you read the roll?
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Herbert? Aye. Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Now y'all can go if you want.
Well, you made it this far.
You
might
saved
as well
it
just
this
see
long,
it
you might as well ride it out.
Ordinance 19, number 19, ordinance number 2026-078, removing certain county-owned real property located at 120 Clemson Road in Richland County from the corporate limits of the city of Columbia, South Carolina, and directing conforming revisions.
Got a motion,
Second.
is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Madam Clerk, read the roll.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert? Aye. Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Item 20, ordinance number 2026-065, granting an encroachment to Lady Street Associates for the use of the right-of-way areas of the 1200 block of Marion Street.
Got a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Madam Clerk, read the roll.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Herbert? Aye. Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Item 21, ordinance number 2026-068, granting an encroachment to 836 Catawba LLC for the use of the right-of-way area of the 800 block.
Second.
A motion and a second. Madam Clerk, read the roll.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
Item 22, ordinance number 2026-075, approval for granting an easement to Dominion Energy South Carolina, Inc. for the new Olympia Fire Station on Bluff
So
Road.
moved, Mr. Mayor.
We got a
Second.
motion and a second. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Item 23, ordinance number 2026-076, authorizing the city manager to execute an office lease agreement between the City of Columbia and Wheatsy the Bus Coffee Shop for office space located at 1401 Main Street.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. I want to know the bus part of all this, but
I'm
that'll
sorry.
be for what the bus part of this.
Well,
The
he'd
bus in 5
always,
Points, it's the
he'd
coffee
always
bus.
been the coffee
In
bus.
5 Points.
But I thought it was a different name.
He changed the name of the.
Oh, okay, because that's a different name at the one in
It was.
5 Points.
It was.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. All right, good. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Excuse me. Mr. Johnson?
I hope everyone enjoys the bourbon latte though.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Pretty excited about that item. Resolutions, item 24, resolution number R 2026-056, authorizing the city manager to execute a memorandum of
moved.
understanding.
Second.
A motion and a second. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Aye.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
Event resolutions, item 25, resolution number R 2026-052, authorizing consumption of beer, wine, and liquor at the Three Rivers Bridge Dinner at the Gervais Street Bridge on Sunday, October 25th, 2026, with a rain contingency date of Sunday, November 1st, 2026.
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion, Madam Clerk?
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Item 26, resolution number R 2026-054, authorizing consumption of beer and wine only within Boyd Plaza adjacent to the Columbia Museum of Art for arts and draughts on Friday, October 23rd, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and there's a second. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
Item 27, resolution number R 2026-055, authorizing consumption of beer, wine, and liquor at Jerry Fest at the 5 Points Fountain on Sunday, October the 4th, 2026.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
Item 28, resolution number R 2026-057, authorizing consumption of beer and wine only at Neon Joy and 5 Points on 747 Saluda Avenue, the perimeter around the Fountain Plaza, and 727 Hardin Street parking lot on Friday, November 20th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
City Council Committee reports, referrals, and new business.
Defer out all.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I just had a referral based on the discussion today with the tattoo parlors, and maybe referring a discussion to the Art, Historic Preservation and Philanthropy Committee, because I do think that we need to know more about them and not just some of the. We need to know all the positives, and I want to be well versed a little bit more well-versed.
You can just say you want some tattoos.
I will not say that because I don't, not yet. But see, because of that, so I wanted to, and they refer to themselves as artists. So I don't think we really consider them as artists. So I would just like to hear a presentation, or maybe y'all can help us, but so we can learn more about the different types of parlors and some of the good things that are coming out, like the
I'm
mayor.
willing to second that if we can figure out if anybody in Columbia has this little C right here as a tattoo.
I know the answer. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll accept their motion.
Got a motion and a second, Madam Clerk?
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan? Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mayor Rickaman?
Maybe we should all, as council members, am I going too far? Get the C.
Good team building.
Anyone else? All right. Think we have public input?
Yes, sir. Individuals are allotted up to 3 minutes to address Columbia City Council about matters not on the agenda. Items requiring a public hearing cannot be addressed at this time.
All right, Ms. Diane Wiley, is she still here? Okay. Meredith Berry? No?
Gone.
Susan James?
Gone.
Okay, we keep going down the list. Mr. Lee Carroll?
Hey, it's called democracy.
But you're moving.
I know. Being an elder, good afternoon. My concern is, now, Ms. Rickman, I love you to death like a brother. But when it comes to youth, I was raised by the parks. And I was raised at, I had parents, but I was raised by the park. And our system, especially my people's system, we don't have the traditional family like we used to, because our family was taken away from us. And when I saw Mr. McDowell porch one day, and we was talking about using the bathroom, and there were certain kids couldn't use the public bathroom at T.S. Martin Park for some unknown reason. I don't know why. So I got involved, and Mr. McDowell called Simon and got him involved to open the bathroom for the kids. The kid was urinating all around the building. And parents take the kids to McDonald's. And it reminded me of the civil rights era, that we could not use the bathroom. And that should never be. We got a public park, and no bathroom is there. We should be able to use them. And it should never be about you have to pay to use the bathroom. That don't make no sense to me. And I hope that never, ever happen again. And Mr. McDowell said that would never, ever happen again. I believe him. And also, we need to put more money and resource in our youth. Because if not, that family part, like Teresa was saying about the team takeover, it's going to get worse. Because we have to invest money into our youth. Because if we don't, man, we're in for a lot of trouble. Like that thing you had down on Main Street every Saturday morning. It don't take them but a couple of kids to go out and destroy that. But because law enforcement is not the answer. I know we were talking about law enforcement this, law enforcement that. I patrolled Saxon Home by myself. I lived in Finley Park as a homeless person. I came back from Iraq. And I see a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't see. And a lot of people say, well, he crazy. Nah, maybe so. But my thing is, we can do better. We can do better. And I appreciate you for allowing me to
I
talk.
will tell you, I think we invest heavily. We can always do more.
Right.
But there are 1,000 religious institutions in this city, right? 1,000 within this county. And they have a part to play in this, along with parents and others. And it seems like every time we have a meeting, people say it's the city's responsibility. It's not, right? We do a lot, and we'll continue to do more.
Right.
But we are not the answer. It's a community that's the answer. especially because 3 of the neighborhoods who were mentioned here tonight aren't even in the city. Somehow it's now become my responsibility to deal with the youth. My point in saying what I said was truly believe this is a community issue and it can't just be the city. We're going to do our part. We're constantly investing. If you look over the last decade, we're spending more than we ever had in parks, programs, and others. We can always do more, but we're not the single answer. So we just got to make sure that other folks, and part of our 4-block challenge with churches and others is to be that. And More Justice is a great example. Every time I meet with them, they tell me they have 15,000 members. Well, if each one of those members just gave 1 hour, 15,000 hours, 7 days a week goes a long way in the course of a year, right? It makes a difference in people's lives. So there's opportunity there. It can't just be us, it's got to be all. I appreciate you care and your passion and your thought because you always put the kids first, and that's why I appreciate and respect you.
All right, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Brian Dixon.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm amazing. Brian Dixon is my name for the record. I see what it is that y'all doing. It's like the agenda y'all pushing, y'all forcing the people to depend on the system. We should not be treated this way. No party, we all deserve to be treated with equality. We should not be out here working for free. And why I say working for free, it's like it's a hamster wheel. It's an ongoing thing. We continuously work, pay bills, pay taxes for everything, for stuff not to be done. And the police should, and by paying taxes and mortgages and things like that, just like y'all want things to be done, it should be done just like y'all take taxes out the check, y'all should go ahead and get stuff done quick. It shouldn't take a week. It shouldn't take 2 weeks. Things should be done just like that. Y'all want to get things pushed as far as like I know I'm a piggyback to what I heard like when you say about grocery stores being here, grocery stores being there. But honestly, all the neighborhoods that been tore down, that's where a lot of people was at. So if y'all wouldn't have tore down the neighborhoods and left the aesthetics of the neighborhoods and just because y'all was probably concerned about crime, y'all could have left the neighborhoods up. The grocery stores could have been there. The people could have been there. The police could have been doing their jobs, actually patrolling and making sure everything is correct instead of ride behind people, pulling their tags. And I know for sure, because I rode with a police officer of course, I'm not going to say his name at all. I rode with a police officer and they get behind him and run the tags and stuff like that. So it's basically like we're just in the system running a whole hamster wheel. It's like the children going to school, y'all don't teach them nothing about, oh, when they get out of school, they got to pay taxes. We're going to teach y'all about home ownership like y'all was saying earlier. We're going to teach y'all about this. Nah, y'all not going to teach it. Y'all just want to go to school, entertainment taking over, a lot of different things taking over and stuff like that. Like, because y'all know, if we all just get out the politician world, because we know a lot of stuff trickling down, like puppets being pulled, if we all get out the politician world, do this, do that, it can all get done. Like, everybody work together, get boots on the ground and come out and actually see what the community need done and stuff like that. Like, even when I stayed in Saxon Homes, we have this booth, and it's like, people come out there with their kids, you got food, you got the elderly people out there, but it's like nobody cares about the elderly people, nobody cares about the kids. You just want to send them to school and teach them the agenda that y'all pushing, because y'all push, I'm not specifically saying y'all, I know it's 3 minutes, it's okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We appreciate hearing what you had to say.
Helping the people instead of having everybody come out from this city, that city, West Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Thank you so much.
Open up LLCs, open up corporations, going to your 401ks. If you're gonna bring something in your community, bring it in your community. I hear y'all talk about the black, the whites. It don't really matter. Do what you gotta do. If y'all wasn't messed up their aesthetics, y'all would have been able to do the right thing. But y'all really don't. I don't think y'all know what y'all doing. If y'all gave me the key
I
to
don't,
the
I'm not sure you know what you're
y'all gave
talking
me the key
about.
to the city, and y'all gave me the key to what budgets is going on. I already
Mr.
show
Dixon,
y'all
we
what to do. I know my
appreciate,
name.
Thank you
we
so much, sir.
appreciate. Yeah, Mr. Brian
That's
Dixon,
okay.
thank
I
you so
appreciate
much
it.
for
Do
your
what y'all
time.
gotta do. Y'all just
Good,
don't want to answer the phones or nothing.
good
Other people
evening. Thank you,
call
Mr.
and
Dixon.
everything. Y'all just hiding behind the guns, the badges. Y'all hide behind everything.
That's what we
We
do.
ain't getting out and voting
Miss
because
Christina Cruel
Oh,
with
Chrissy,
Humana.
Mr.
Yes,
Absolutely. Thank you,
Christina with
Chief.
Humana.
Miss
No.
Christina Cruel. Thank you,
Yeah.
Chrissy.
I ain't even committing a crime and y'all want to put me out.
Disorderly conduct.
Did Christina leave?
She left.
Okay.
David Lewis.
What the hell is he talking about?
David Lewis. Shelley Humphreys. This concludes the list, Mayor.
Thank you all so much.
For adjournment.
You get free taxes for a year.
Move for adjournment, Mr. Mayor.
And Mr. Mayor, we can hold the executive session item to the next time.
Bless God.
Oh, God. So move.
Move for
And then,
adjournment.
and I
Do I need to officially say that?
Well, I wanted to say for the record as well, for all of our wonderful citizens who attended in person and for those who've been listening, we are committed to work on the sound in city council chambers. I know that's been very frustrating. It's frustrating for us as staff because it is something that we have been assessing and dealing with. So I just wanted to say that publicly, our apologies because we certainly expect, and the staff knows. So for any emails that I don't respond to from the listening public or those who've been in attendance, I've been trying to respond. I may not get to them, but please know that we will address the sound. It's a beautiful chambers, but the acoustics in here are challenging, and we're going to continue to work at it. Thank you, and good night. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to executive session.
No.
No.
Any roll call or we're good?
Aye.
What the hell that you were talking about?